place in the West as a result of play last evening in Canadian football. The Argos are smiling as a result of the play of Luke Tousineau from Montreal last night. Here to Nick Araki for a big touchdown and a 17-3 lead Montreal there. And later, Preston Young, one of 6 interceptions of Hamilton Tiger Cat quarterback Tom Clements, to snuff out another Tiger Cat drive. The Concords en route to their first win of 1982. In Calgary, the second straight win for the Stampeders. Jerry DiTilio engineered a 9-play, 75-yard touchdown march. The capper, 31 yards to newcomer Brett Davis. The Stampeders, after a slow start, on to a 30-19 victory over the Ottawa Roughriders. So the standings in the East, Toronto up by a point with a game in hand. And out west, the Edmonton Eskimos have slipped to 4th place, 1 point behind the Calgary Stampeders. It's a pleasure once again to be working with Ronnie Lancaster and Leo Cahill. The big question we have tonight are the Grey Cup champion Edmonton Eskimos on the ropes. Ron, you're first.
John, no way. No, they've got an excellent football team. Everybody knew the Western Conference was going to be close this year, and it is. And it's going to stay that way for 16 games. Leo, how do you see it?
Well, Ron, as far as I'm concerned, there's 2 teams out here tonight that are completely out of characters. Edmonton's the Grey Cup champions. They're down 2 games. The Toronto Argonauts are coming in here in first place, and that's really different. Now, there's an irony tonight connected with this thing. Everybody in the Canadian Football League are copying Edmonton's offense and defense. I don't think the Argonauts can copy it tonight well enough to win, John.
Okay, Leo, there has been a lot of criticism of the Eskimo offense. Ron, what's wrong?
Nothing. Let's look at the offense. They got a great football team. They're leading the league with 140 points scored. Everybody believes that they're having their problems on offense. But, you know, whenever things are going good, it's the quarterback and receivers. But when things are going bad, it's the offensive line. What's wrong with this offensive line? Nothing. It's been good enough to take them to 4 straight wins of Grey Cup. And this year, they're off to another start that they're just not happy with. But the main thing is the offensive linemen cannot be responsible for everything. Team game, everybody has to share in their own blame and take some of the responsibility. The offensive linemen are good, but they're only as good a lot of times as that quarterback makes them. And Warren Moon is an outstanding quarterback, but, you know, he can't do it all either. He's being forced to drop the balls off the receivers other than the wide receivers. People like Neil Lumsden, who is their second leading pass receiver, which is a very, very unusual situation. Over the years, they've had excellent touchdowns and excellent play from their wide receivers. That's where their problem is. Levin Sellers caught 12. Waddell Smith only caught 6 passes. Long gain of 19 yards, 1 touchdown. Not enough from the wide receivers. Leo, how's that Argonaut defense going to handle the Eskimos tonight?
Well, Ron, I think that they're going to revert back to what they had the most success with, and that was in the second half of that game out in Edmonton. They decided to go to 6 backs. So they put Aykroyd in there. They took out a linebacker, and they went with the 6-back situation. Here you see the 6 linemen. They just put 6 backs in there with them. Put Aykroyd in the ball game. However, Huey Campbell is a very perceptive guy, you know, and if he decides that they're going to stop his passing game, he may just as well start with the run in the football game. So look for the run in the first part of this football game, and he'll look at his personnel and he'll say, hey, I'm better than they are. Man for man on this football team, we're a better football team. So let's run at them and let's out-muscle them as far as that's concerned. So there'll always be a chance for a change. In this ball game tonight, though, the Argonauts, they don't lose at all if they lose. They can still make the playoffs, John. They may still even get into the Grey Cup. But as far as Edmonton is concerned, if Edmonton loses tonight, I'm a little bit worried. I think it may be the end of a dynasty. They can't afford to lose 3 in a row with as powerful as they are out west.
Some interesting comments. The Argonauts and the Eskimos have not met in a meaningful football game in quite some time. So we look forward to this one tonight. It's a hot, muggy night at CNE Stadium in Toronto, and we expect a very important football game as far as the Edmonton Eskimos are concerned. As Leo Cahill points out, the Eskimos have to get back on track, and it's very tight in the Western Division of the Canadian Football League. We'll be back with the opening kickoff to Exhibition Stadium in Toronto right after this. Well, not a full house at Exhibition Stadium, Toronto tonight, but a very enthusiastic welcome for the Toronto Argonauts. Are the Argos back on track? Are the fans ready to support them, Ron?
I believe so. They're expecting around 45,000. Should be a good football game. The Argonauts, they know what happened the first time. They don't want it to happen the second. They'll be ready.
Temperature 26 degrees Celsius. Wind northwest at 10 will favor the Eskimos slightly as they go back to receive the kickoff from Zenon Andrusishin. Sean Kehoe, 31. Cole, 35, and Holloman, 29. Drop deep for the Eskimos. And we'll hope, Leo, that we do get a little bit of a breeze in off Lake Ontario tonight, because it is a little muggy in Toronto.
think that the important thing as far as the Argonauts are concerned is to get a good start out here tonight. They're the inexperienced team. Edmonton is the veteran team. Edmonton doesn't have to get a good start. Somewhere in the third or fourth quarter, they can still take this ball game over, but it's imperative that the Argonauts get a good start right away in this ball game.
Football game. Got to get started on the right foot.
That's very profound, Ron.
The Argos started well last week in Saskatchewan. They scored very early. We're underway in Toronto. Kevin Cole slipped at the 20-yard line. Zach Henderson, 31, the defensive leader of the Argonauts, over to pin 35, Kevin Cole. The Eskimos offensively begin from their 24-yard line.
You know, yesterday, John, Coach Abilovich was talking about the value of Zach Henderson, how he's one of their defensive leaders. Come down on the opening kickoff and make a stop to be a leader.
The offensive line, Pache, Upton, Millian, Blanchard, and Stevenson. First down for the Eskimos. Lumsden, a big hole over the middle on the opening offensive play. Jeff Gabrielson, 72, to make the tackle for the Argonauts. Lumsden just shy of the 34-yard line, so he's very close to first down territory.
And it looks like they're fulfilling what we said that they would. It looks like they got the 6 defensive backs in there. And it looks like on the first play that they went to Lumsden, and Lumsden carried the ball in there pretty well, so maybe they're going to run a little bit like we thought.
Ron, that's one thing that you should be able to do against a 6-man secondary.
Well, you know, you take a linebacker out there, usually your hitters, and when you take them out, a defensive back doesn't tackle as well.
This is second down, less than a yard to go for the Eskimos. Moon straight ahead. He's across the 35. Should be no problem with the first down.
There he goes over his left guard, and his first initial contact, he may have been stopped short of the first down, but he spun off of it like a good back will do, and he got that extra yardage for the first down. You know, what I talked about before, that front four that the Argonauts, or that front line that the Argonauts are showing is pretty much like what Edmonton would use on a short yardage situation, so that's holding true.
Right on the 35, first down Edmonton. Kevin Cole barely back to the line of scrimmage. Earl Wilson, 58, to make the tackle. Wilson in replace of Fred Nordgren, who has an ankle problem for the Argonauts. He was their leading tackler up front.
Steve Aykroyd comes up here on the outside and does a pretty good job, takes a good hit. You'll see him show up. He's forcing it in. Lumsden has to block him, but that forces Cole inside. Wilson to make the good backside pursuit to make the tackle. That's what they want to do.
Great job of blocking there by Neil Lumsden, by the way, Ron.
Loss of a bit. This is second down, 10 and a half. Moon. Through for Lumsden. This Gavage, 64 for the Argos. Had the pressure on Warren Moon that time. It looked like he might have thrown that one away, although Lumsden was in the general area.
Yeah, Lumsden's there. You'll see Moon come back here. They got the 6 defensive backs. They're only coming with 4, and they get good pressure. You see the pressure coming from the backside. They get a hold of him. Lascavage gets a hold of Warren Moon. Moon throws it right at Neil Lumsden. It's a little behind him, and then Moon gets a little bit upset with the treatment that Lascavage gave him. I don't know why a quarterback gets mad at a defensive lineman. He pays for that later, you know.
I'll tell you what, it's not a very good idea at this stage of the game to be taking a swing at somebody when you're the quarterback. They can't afford to have him lose.
Good punt by Alisic. Jan Carinci at the 35 of the Argos, away from one tackler, brought down by Millian, 56, and 23, Santucci, first down for the Argonauts.
You got a couple more guys down there want to talk about it a little bit. Maybe it's going to be one of those physical games.
10-yard return for Carinci.
John, the Argonauts have pretty good field position right here. They started off holding the Edmonton Eskimos on that first sequence of downs, which is important. Now, what they do with the ball right now is extremely important, too.
Holloway, first down for the Argonauts. They're 42. Carinci, Ed Jones made the tackle after a 5-yard pickup.
Ed Jones made the tackle. 6-yard gain. Second and 4.
Now look at the Kearns and Parker up front. The linebackers, Towns, Kepley, Dixon. And in the secondary, Holloman and Jones, McLeod, Hayes, and Highbaugh. This is second down. 5 to go, Argos. Over the middle, intended for Minter. And there's a flag going down. Mike McLeod was covering Cedric Minter. A late flag, Ron.
Real late. You had two officials standing there, and this guy came from a long way away, but, you know, they're all on the field, and he can call it if he sees it. It's a very difficult call to make, but evidently he did it. Let's see what he says.
I think McLeod just got his toe caught. Wasn't that?
Well, let's see if we can see it. They send double motion, and the Eskimos are man-to-man with a blitz. Here comes Potter into your picture. Tries to throw it over the middle. Well, maybe he hooked him a little bit. I don't know. Pretty tough.
Interference. The Argos have a first down. Cedric Minter stopped from behind by Fennell. Gain of a yard.
Well, there's some talk around the league, and everyone's speaking about Fennell being a little bit overweight. He didn't look overweight on that one right there. His pursuit was great. He flattened out and made a good play on that.
They've had Fennell running a little bit, Ron.
Oh, I've had an opportunity to sit down with Dave today and talk with him a little bit. He's running about 4 days a week now, you know, getting in good shape. He feels he's in good shape and doesn't know where all these stories are coming from.
Whenever you lose a couple games, there's always that great game of transference played. It's somebody else's fault, and if the guy's a little bit overweight, they're going to focus on him.
This is 2nd and 9 for the Argos. Holloway, too far. Pearson, the intended receiver, double coverage back there.
The Eskimos lined up like they were going to blitz that time. They brought everybody up and got some action going, then dropped out of there in the zone, and Holloway tried to hit Pearson right down the seam. You see the Eskimos showing man, but you see Kepley dropping out of there. That means zone. Pearson's coming right crowd and high ball, and it's just a little bit too far. That's what you call a seam, anything between the safety and the halfback.
3rd down for the Argos. Andrew Sishin back at his 45-yard line, an impressive average.
Nothing wrong with the design of that play. It was just poorly thrown. It was in there, Ron. It was just a matter of getting it connected.
That's Gary Hayes to the 5 and no farther. Argonauts with lots of enthusiasm stop Gary Hayes. The Argos feel they have recovered the football. And they have. Happiness in Toronto. The Argonauts pick up a fumble by Gary Hayes and threaten to score early in the opening quarter.
Sponsored by Sears. We'll all be looking for you. When is that, guys? Sunday on ESPN.
ESPN sports a winning lineup Sunday, starting as North Melbourne and Carlton scramble to tally a victory in Australian rules football. Then Sharon Smith takes you around America's racetracks for a view of the action down the stretch on Horse Racing Weekly. Later, soccer fans will get their fill with live NASL soccer as the Tampa Bay Rowdies use their head in an attempt to fell the Portland Timbers. It's all Sunday on ESPN. ESPN swings into Sunday with
The win on was those special teams, and you see them coming down here right now. Hamiluk makes the first hit right there. It looks like Moen gets on the ball, and that's a big break for the Argonauts. And like I said, this first part of this ball game is very important to them. They're moving.
All right. At the Eskimos 7-yard line with a 1st and goal to go. Cedric Minter inside, easily the touchdown. Argos out in front, 6-0. Cedric Minter not even touched as he plays into the Eskimo end zone. And the Argonauts take advantage quickly of their first break of the evening.
A simple pitch out right here to Minter, and he cuts back against the flow, against the pursuit. Finds the opening and just runs the daylight.
Barely touched.
McLeod got a hand on him, but it wasn't good enough, and the Argos are out in front. I don't know about the rest of the fans in these stands, but the 3 broadcasters were up on their feet for that one.
Andrew Sishin. Easily. And the Toronto Argonauts out in front of the Eskimos, 7-0. 10:29 to play in the opener.
Well, that's a tough way to start a game if you're an Eskimo fan, but the fans here are loving it. A great hit down there.
2 weeks in a row. Last week, the Argos scored first after recovering.
Well, the big thing last week's game, from what Coach Avilovich said, was their special teams play, as Leo was talking about. That was super, to make the fumble and then turn around and put it in the end zone. That's what you do with turnovers.
Well, you know that the Argos are going to be higher than the Georgia Pine now. I mean, they're going to be covering down there and hitting and skitting and bobbing and weaving. They're going to go after him now. They got that 7-point edge. I noticed something on Edmonton that I haven't seen in the past. They walk off that field a little bit with their heads down, and that doesn't seem like the Eskimos of these last 5 years. Now, maybe it's because they're old pros and because they know it's just a matter of time till they get back in the ball game and win. I'm not sure.
Andrew Sishin will kick it off. Cole is back, 35, along with Kehoe and Joe Holloman. Sean Kehoe. Bit of a seam as Kehoe fights to the 25. Moan, 36, to make the tackle for the Argos.
And Moan has been very active in there. He's down there recovering that fumble and now down there making that key tackle. And they got him on the 25-yard line.
Okay, he catches far right side. Now he comes up behind the wall. He's just looking for a hole to run through. He thinks he sees one, tries to get outside. Moan makes the tackle. Good going. 25-yard line again.
Moon will throw on first down. Intended for Levenseller. There appeared to be a mix-up. JoJo Heath, 24 for the Argos, had a shot at it.
Well, I thought it was going to be picked off, and I don't know whether he didn't see Heath or not on this thing here, but he threw the ball right where Heath was.
You'll see him drop back into a zone. Now Moon tries to force this into the zone, and he's throwing into a lot of bad territory when you got 3 brown shirts around it, and too far inside. Should have been intercepted. You know, Heath, they have top 4 to top 5 interceptors in the league right now, and Heath's their leader.
Argos have 13 interceptions on the season. This is 2nd and 10 for the Eskimos. Argo 25. Time to throw for Moon. Over the middle, Waddell Smith couldn't hang on. Rose supplied the coverage for the Argos, and Waddell Smith continues to have his problems hanging on to the football.
Yeah, you got to make that catch. When you play 6 defensive backs like that, they clear that middle out, and Moon goes back. You'll see those linebackers run out of there, and when Waddell Smith comes in and there's nothing underneath, the ball's thrown right where it should be. The ball's there. He gets stripped of it. Good defense, but those are the catches that you have to make. Another look at the same play, just a down and in pattern. The ball hit him in the numbers, but he stripped them. A good defensive play that time.
The Argos been doing that all year. They've been going after those people and hitting them when they catch that ball.
Alisic. High punt this time. Currency at the 35. First man down, makes the tackle. James Parker.
James Parker is something. That's excellent work for him to get down there that fast. Good coverage on the punt. They looked like he was trying to get outside and had a little bit of room.
I'm a little bit surprised that the Eskimos haven't tried to run at them a little bit more with that 6 defensive backs in there and just test them a little bit and soften them up. But they're going falling right into that trap and throwing the ball into all those people, and it's going to be tough to throw again.
51-yard punt for Alisic. Argos start from their 35. Holloway, swing pass. Paul Pearson to the 45. Very close to the first down.
Holloway pass completed to Paul Pearson. Ralph Dixon made the tackle. First down, Argos.
Just a swing pass. This is one of their most effective plays out here, and Paul Pearson has the good moves out there and evades the tackle by Gray and almost makes the first down on it. Or he did make the first down.
He's got it, Leo. Argos at their own 45. Holloway intended that one for Terry Greer. 29 Holloman was with Greer all the way.
Put the blitz on him that time. Holloway had to throw it. Joe Holloman anticipated that pattern. In fact, he almost stepped right in front of it.
He had a chance at it, no question.
It looks to me like when they come with that remaining back in the backfield all by himself to one side and the motion is all gone to his side, that the linebacker away from that comes on the stunt run, and he came clean on that thing and almost got Holloway before he threw the ball.
Holloway 2 of 4 on the night, 50% for 16 yards. Second down, 10 to go, Argos at their 45.
There he goes again.
For Minter, good catch. But short of the first down at the 50-yard line. Mike McLeod, 18, to make the tackle for the Eskimos.
Now you'll see it right here. All the backs are to the right. And that middle linebacker, he's blocked, but he comes from that offside on the blitz, and that's his key, I'm sure, when all those backs are away from him.
Do you like that jump pass, Ron?
Oh, not really. Once you're up there, you have to throw it, and a lot of things bad can happen.
And Rescission at his 35. Hayes gets it again. He'll be careful this time. And effective to the 36-yard line.
Pretty good tackle by Bronk.
Bronk to make the tackle. The Eskimos are first down. They trail the Argos 7-0. Still have half the first quarter to play in Toronto. On the sideline, some coaching for the Argonaut offense. On the field, the Eskimo offense with a first down. From their 36-yard line, Moon in trouble. Flags are down. Rusty Olson, 79 for the second time, breaking through on Warren Moon. The indication is holding against the Eskimos.
Okay, look at the secondary now. They're covering that inside guy with that guy up on the line of scrimmage. That means that the middle's going to be open when they want to throw the football. At that time, they didn't have a chance. He was trying to throw just a quick pattern that time, but Olson was all over him.
No chance whatsoever for Warren Moon. John Moon on the sidelines, attended to by Freddie Dunbar.
I know we mention this all the time, that when you get the kind of heat that the Argonauts are putting on the Edmonton right now, that they've got to draw some to get them off that pressure, and I'm surprised that a veteran quarterback wouldn't be doing that.
2nd and 15 for Moon. Well over the head of Kevin Cole, the intended receiver. And that Eskimo offense continues to have problems.
That was the screen pass that I was talking about, John, but it was just overextended, and he threw it over his head.
Well, Moon's stats are pretty good. He's hitting about 56% of his passes. He's got 8 touchdowns and only 3 intercepted, but he's got to get something going right here. The Argonauts are going to pick up some momentum.
That's on the season tonight. He's 0 for 4.
Right.
Carinci and Cox are deep for the Argonauts. Olisic near his own 15. Flags down. No play for Carinci, 27. But there'll be some discussion back near the line of scrimmage. The referee, Blair Shello.
Flag was thrown by one of the linesmen out on the side, so we'll have to see whether the Eskimos are offside or that the Argonauts
it was
are
the
offside.
Argonauts
Somebody
offside.
is. We'll see what happens here.
Well, on 3rd and 15, it should make much difference if it were the Argonauts offside.
Toronto, number 6. When one of those linesmen throw that flag, somebody's offside, and that time it's him. And they figure with the exchange of punts, they don't want to kick it again. They'll just let him have the ball down there.
Well, with Olisic's kicking, though, Ron, wouldn't you think they'd take another shot at that with a 5-yard improvement on the field position?
Well, there's no return on it, Leo. Really not much value. You could take a chance of a bad snap or getting it blocked or something, but he's an excellent punter, but no return.
Offensively, the Argos begin from their 39.
That's pretty good field position.
Cedric Minter. And another flag. Minter close to the 45-yard line before he was brought down. Ralph Dixon.
Looks like it's going to be holding. Same play they scored with down there, just a little toss to Minter. He's just going to come around here and try to find a hole anywhere he can find it. He thinks there's a seam there. He starts inside. And there you see Dixon there. You see the referee throw the flag.
They call it reach blocking on the onside on that toss play. And Carinci, number 27, comes in from the slot and does a job blocking. He's an excellent blocker. From the University of Maryland, he was well known down there as a real crackback man.
It'll be 1st and 20. Argos from their 29-yard line. Bronk, 34, and not much room that time. Kepley, 42.
Dan Kepley missed a couple tackles last week in that game that he doesn't usually miss. In fact, it's probably one of the poorer games he's played. And I'll tell you what, a poor game for Kepley is still better than most.
Say that again.
You're right about that, no question.
See the hand back to Bronk. Bronk comes back through. Kepley starts one way, comes back the other, and makes the hit.
Over the middle, Minter, the intended receiver. There was a collision, Minter and Dixon, but no flags are down.
Conrad thinks there should have been pass interference. There definitely was a collision, but the rules say you can stand there, and
right.
you're entitled to the ground you stand on. If he runs over you, that's his problem.
I watched that very closely, Ron, and there's no question he come in from the outside and ran right into the path of the defensive back, and the defensive back has every right to protect the position he's standing on, as you said. But it always looks to the quarterback when he gets the receiver knocked off balance like it's interference.
Well, you might as well try for it.
Quarterbacks are never wrong. Never wrong with.
I know one thing, they cry an awful lot. There's only one thing dumber than a dumb lineman, that's a smart quarterback.
Gary Hayes at the 35 for the Eskimos. Fumbled it again. Got it back that time. Hayes fumbled earlier. The Argos recovered at that time and went in to score this time. Hayes was fortunate to get back to the football and takes it for the Eskimos at the 45.
He tries to catch it on the run. The ball gets under and hits his leg, and now he can't handle it. It hits the ground. Good dive. It's a good thing he got it back because there's all blue shirts and him by himself. You'll see the number of blue shirts around right here when that ball goes down. 3-1. He got it.
Moan 36 again, leading the Argonaut tackler. The Eskimo offense from their own 45.
The Eskimos are improving on the field position with every exchange of punts.
Lumsden stopped after a couple. Pointer, a former Eskimo, up to make the tackle. Eskimos didn't really want to get rid of Mr. Pointer. They liked what they saw in him last season, but they didn't have room for him with Dan Kepley playing.
Moon comes out of here. He's just like a little bit of a fake there and hands back to Lumsden. He tries to get that middle linebacker going one way and then hand it back and hope that middle linebacker overruns it, but Pointer didn't do it. He stayed right in there and made the hit.
Makes it a lot easier on that lineman that's blocking that middle linebacker if he gets a little influence on him, too.
Now 2nd and 7 for the Eskimos. Moon has time. That's Kevin Cole. He has a first down near the 50. Darrell Wilson, 13, over to make the tackle.
Used his head that time. Dropped those linebackers back into his zone that time. He just hit the back coming out, and Kevin Cole picked up the yardage.
You get the impression that the Eskies now are beginning to settle down.
First down. Now the Argonauts 51.
You'll see the linebackers dropping out of there. That means zone. So they're back deep. He throws it underneath them. Cole does the rest. Straight up that first down.
Eskimo first down, sideline pass, Waddell Smith hangs on. A gain of 5 at the 45 of the Argos. Maybe a little confidence for Mr. Smith.
Well, you know, all receivers like to catch footballs, but boy, they got to make the catch when they come to them, because if you come to them too many times and they don't, you say, to heck with them.
Well, the old saying is, if he misses too many of those, there's a bluebird leaving every 15 minutes. He's will be on it.
Second and 5, Eskimos at the Argo 45. Cole again. Met right at the line of scrimmage. John Pointer, 37. And Moore, 76.
John Pointer and Rick Moore made the stop.
All right. We're going to see this, and Pointer is definitely keying on Cole. He's not fooled one more thing, and he just stays with him all the way and comes right in there and steps up and fills the hole.
You see that what they try to do is get Kevin Cole coming across the top, get that linebacker to move, and then run back where you came from. But Pointer did not go for that one bit. He stayed back there and made the hit right on the line of scrimmage. Good defense.
So the Argonaut defense holds. Hank Alisic will kick it away for the Eskimos. Cox and Carinci in their own end zone.
Not a normal Carinci kick either. I mean, a normal Alisic kick.
Fielded by Martin Cox, the Eskimos hit the scoreboard for the first time. We have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Exhibition Stadium, a hot, muggy night. We'll continue CFL football in a moment. Here's what's ahead in the Canadian Football League. Tomorrow afternoon, Winnipeg Stadium, the Lions and the Bombers for first Western Division. And then Thursday, The Rough Riders and the Rough Riders. At Exhibition Stadium, a first down for the Argonauts. Minter, a gain of 3. Tommy Towns from behind, number 20.
Minter carried. Towns and Templey made
Just a little counterplay. Roland Mango came back and made the block on Towns, but Towns fell off of it and made the tackle. That's just good defense because he had a pretty good block put on him.
There's a lot of white shirts there, though, Ron. I think somebody else would have made the tackle. They read that pretty well, and it didn't seem like it fooled anybody. I think when they keep that one remaining back in the Argonaut backfield, that everybody's alerted for that cutback or that back handoff that's going to come to him away from the flow.
2nd and 7, Argos from their 38. Greer, and he has room and speed. Caught from behind. Holloman. Hayes over to help out, but Holloman made the touchdown-saving tackle on Terry Greer. A 30-yard pickup for the Argonauts.
This is a great play right here. He gets everything away, and then he turns back to Greer. There's no safety man in the middle. He's got the lineman coming out the block on Holloman, and now it's a race up the field, and you don't see Mike McLeod ever come back, and he's the middle safety because he was all the way over with that man in motion.
So a first down for the Argos. Eskimo 42, almost intercepted. Ed Jones stepped in front of that Conrad Holloway pass intended for Paul Pearson.
by Ed Jones.
So it'll be 2nd down, Argos, from the 41. We talked about some of the problems the Eskimos have had of late. They have 9 changes from their Grey Cup roster. Partly due to injury, partly because of changes they've made on their own. Holloway on 2nd and 10 gets some heat. Flags go down. James Parker and Dan Kearns, number 58.
Holloway sacked by Parker and
The indication from referee Blair Shallow, holding against the Argos. Maybe we can pick it up.
Looking from the end zone, you see Holloway coming out. You see Fennell trying to get up the middle. Kearns got the inside rush. That's what a quarterback doesn't like to see. He tries to step away from him, but now Parker makes the hit. And Parker has been their leader. He's got 2 sacks. He's got 21 tackles for the Eskimos. There's another sack. The Edmonton Eskimos lead the CFL. They have 17 sacks, and there's another one.
So it'll be 3rd down for the Argonauts. Larry Highbaugh, the lone man deep for the Eskimos, standing 10 yards deep in the end zone. A 54-yard attempt by Zenon Andrusician.
Short.
Bouncing to Highbaugh, who gives up a single point. And the Argonauts increase their lead to 7 once more. Toronto, 8. The Eskimos, 1. And just 8 seconds remain in the opening quarter.
Well, they're going to get time for one play. Highbaugh could have run that out very easily. He had a lot of room, but orders from the bench say, give them one. Let's get the ball outside and go from there because they get it back at the line of scrimmage because it was a missed field goal. So they're all the way out to like the 47-yard line. That's good field position.
First down, Edmonton on the 47.
Longest prior to that, 48 yards. So he was a little out of range. Should be the last play of the opening quarter. Moon, far side. Levenseller has the reception and the first down. JoJo Heath, 24, to force him out of bounds. And that ends the opening quarter at Exhibition Stadium, Toronto. The Argos out in front of the Edmonton Eskimos by a touchdown. We'll be back with the second quarter.
Look, if you're an investor who's tired of being too late when investments are heading up, too late when they're heading down, look ahead. Look into Barron's. Every week, Barron's gives you page after page of useful investment information, days, weeks, even months ahead. Every week, 34 pages of market statistics, in-depth studies of companies, dividends and Alert on all New York Stock Exchange and Amex stocks. Exclusive analyses covering the whole world of investing. All you need to know not to be too late. Every week in Barron's. If you call this toll-free number now, you can get 26 weeks of Barron's for just $28. Call right now, and you'll also get free Understanding Technical Forecasting, an informative booklet that shows you how professionals use Barron's. 26 weeks of Barron's, plus this revealing booklet for only $28. Look ahead. Look into Barron's. Call 800-453-4840 now, before it's too late.
A look at our CBC CompuStats after one quarter of play in Toronto. The Argos with a net offense of 61 compared to 49 for the Eskimos. Right now, however, the Eskimos start with a first down inside Toronto territory at the Argo 52-yard line. Warren Moon would like to get something going here. Eskimos trail by 7. Cole, and there was no room. Gabrielson in the middle, and Leon Lescavich, 64, to stop Kevin Cole that time.
Eskimos want to try to run over him if they can, but you can't do it gaining 1 yard. They're going to have to go to the air.
2-yard gain.
Middle's open before looking. Lescavich closed down, and then the linebacker fills for him. There's just nowhere to go.
There's a changeup, Ron, 2nd and long, and they take out the extra defensive back and put in a lineman. They put the call in.
2nd and 9, and they're coming at Moon. Nowhere to run, nowhere to throw. The Eskimos stall offensively once more.
Well, they sprung him clean right up the middle, and Moon didn't have to turn around. He got tremendous pressure this time. You see Moon go back. Delco comes straight up the middle. Nobody blocks him. He is free. He chases Moon out of the pocket. Very difficult for a quarterback to run to his left or to his right. He finally runs out of room, steps out of bounds, but you can't let a man through that fast.
Well, you know, Ron, it was Delco that made that, put that pressure on the quarterback that time. It was Delco that came in and took the 6 defensive backs' place, so maybe they were anticipating blocking like they normally had with the 6th back, and then they forgot about it.
Well, somebody forgot about him because he has to belong to somebody.
Alisic for Cox or Carinci. Carinci has no play. It's out of bounds near the 15. The Argos will start deep in their own zone.
Illicit punt, but out of bounds on the Argonauts 13.
Young team, the Argonauts have the young team. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and that's a credit to the coaching staff over there and the job that they've done. They're starting to be believers in themselves, and when you get them believing, they can play.
Bobo Bilovich told us yesterday that the attitude on this team is the most pleasing aspect that he's seen so far.
Well, conversely, the Edmonton team seems to be walking around kind of with their heads down out there and lacking emotion. Now, we haven't seen them lose that much in the last 5 years, so we don't know whether that's just an old professional attitude or whether they're just down.
Holloway for Minter. He's to the 25, brought down by Highbaugh. Short of the first down, but within range.
What they're doing there, John, is they have that receiver there split out. The backs go in motion, and then that inside receiver comes across, and he picks the linebacker. You'll see Holloway come to his left. You'll see Dixon, 19, trying to chase him, and he's behind him. He can't cover him from there, and he has to give ground when that receiver comes in. He's got to go around him. That gets Minter open short, and that's all they want. 7 yards on first down is great.
Get it to a good fast back in an open field situation, Ron.
2nd and 3 Argos from the 25. They will throw again. Minter, the intended receiver, made the catch in front of Dixon. Outstanding reception by Cedric Minter at the 40-yard line. A big Argo first down there.
Actually, if the defense would have been looking, it probably could have been an interception. But when things are going right for you, they're going right all the way. Holloway throws the ball, and the defensive back, you see, had his back turned. That was McLeod, and or was that Dixon? That was Dixon, had his back turned in there, and if he was looking toward the quarterback, it could have been an interception, but the Argonauts are moving.
Toronto now from their 41. Holloway with time. Over the middle for Pearson. Big gaping hole in the Eskimo secondary. Mike McLeod had to go over to make the tackle. But Pearson was all alone.
He just uses his head there. himself out of trouble by stepping up inside the pocket and then sees Pearson downfield and gets the ball to him. Just a great job of adjusting.
Throwback pattern right here. You see Kepley gets underneath Pearson, so Pearson keeps going. Holloway steps up and finds him. That's what happens when you give the quarterback time.
A 27-yard pickup for the Argonauts. They're at the Eskimo 42 now. Terry Greer wrestled down inside the 20. Mike McLeod, the touchdown-saving tackle. But there's some embarrassment in that Eskimo secondary right now.
This is just another example here. The ball is thrown about as well as it can be thrown, but the defender's got just as good a chance of intercepting there. Holloman overplays his hand, misses the interception, and almost allows Greer to go for the touchdown.
Well, this stadium in Toronto is alive. The Argonauts threaten one inside the Eskimo 20. They're at the 14. Cox in the grasp of Larry Highbaugh. He fell across the goal line.
What they did here, John, was they just set the motion in one direction, created a one-on-one situation with Cox and the cornerback on the other side, and he just run the post pattern. Here it is right here, looking back, and there's just one-on-one there. Now, had it been done a little bit more, he may have scored the touchdown on it. He had to wait for the ball.
He did get the touchdown, Leo. He fell across the line.
All right, he got the touchdown. I'm sorry, John.
Just barely across the line. Enough, though. And rescission adds to the Argonaut total.
I guess what I meant, John, is he would have gone in standing up.
Well, they count either way. And the Argonauts take control. Edmonton Eskimos, CNE in Toronto. It's 15-1.
This buzz for everyone knows they've got what it takes to get the job.
This buzz for you, for all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this buzz for you.
The Argos are on a roll. A 93-yard scoring drive ended with Conrad Holloway to Martin Cox in Toronto. Out in front of the Edmonton Eskimos, 15-1. Andrew Sishin to kick off here. Still lots of time to play till halftime. 10 minutes, 45 seconds. 31 Kehoe, 35 are deep for the Eskimos, along with 29 Joe Holloman. What's happened to Edmonton, Ron?
The Toronto Argonauts are doing a heck of a job. Conrad Holloway is finding the open man. That time he had man coverage. He threw a slant to Cox one-on-one, and you can beat him inside. The one he threw to Greer, read the right thing, made a perfect read, hit Greer on the curl. Great play.
That's Sean Kehoe. Zach Henderson, 31.
I'll tell you that Zach Henderson, he shows up on those special teams. There's nothing wrong with the way he's returning this ball. He's going all out, but he just infiltrates from the side. Henderson does and makes an excellent tackle there, and that's hard on the knees.
That is a great hit. Super effort and a great hit by Henderson.
A change in the Eskimo backfield. Lumsden is out on the sidelines with an ice pack, and that means Angelo Santucci will be the blocking back for Kevin Cole. First down, Eskimo. Warren Moon for Levenseller. They call it a catch. Very close to the white line.
Oh, let's see that again.
Well, the rule says you only have to have 1 foot. The only question we're going to see if we see a replay is, does the foot get down? Let's take a look at it. Moon play actions outside. Levenseller on a deep break to the sideline. The ball's thrown. He makes the catch, and let's take a look at it. A little farther. There you go.
Good
What do
call.
you think? Isaiah 10.
Well, I think he's close enough that he can see better than we can, so we got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
From the 43 now, Eskimos first down. Moon to the other side. Waddell Smith short of the first down, but he has the reception. Don Rose, number 6 for the Argos, forcing him out of bounds.
There's Neil Lumsden, and he's going to hurt them if he's not in that ball game. more in the third and fourth quarter. He's been a great player for them.
The quick sprint, Waddell Smith down 8 yards, turns to the outside, quick out, hits Waddell Smith, and Don Rose makes him pay for it. This is what Coach Obilovich said. They're making receivers pay, and he paid.
That's what's really impressing me about the Argonauts this year is those secondary men coming up there and really hitting the receivers. Somewhere in the ball game, it takes its toll.
This is 2nd and 5, Eskimos. Moon for Smith. First down.
Well, we said before the game, you got to use your outside receivers. Wide receivers, you can only use them if the quarterback throws them the ball, and he's gone to them on 3 straight plays. They've completed 3 straight passes.
Howard must have tuned into you, Ron.
I doubt that.
I think we can look for that Waddell to fake the out anytime now and turn it up the field and see if he can't get the long one on this thing, because they've been going with him, and Rose has been hanging off and kind of giving him those first down throws. Now, Rose is going to get a little nervous and want to come up and play him a little tougher, and that's when he'll turn out.
Right at midfield, an Eskimo first down. Angelo Santucci for a couple. And Argo front wall is playing it tough. Jeff Gabrielson, the linebacker, to make the tackle.
Santucci carries.
2nd and 8, big play right here. The Eskimos got to put something together. The Argonauts right now are controlling the game. They're making the Eskimos do what they don't want to do, especially on defense. Bob Obilovich has got to be very, very happy at this time of the game.
There's a long way to go, and I know he knows that. From the 53. 2nd down. Moon has a first down to Waddell Smith, just shy of the 40-yard line. Again, Zach Henderson to make the tackle. Smith slow in getting up.
Okay, they got the 6 defensive backs in the ball game again this time, and you'll be able to see Moon back to pass. There they are, the 2 inside linebackers right in the middle of the screen. They have to chase the backs, and when they run out of there like that, nothing underneath. Waddell Smith at the bottom of the screen turns to the inside. Nobody underneath it. He makes the catch, gets the first down, keeps it alive.
There's no question on that play around those 2 inside linebackers. We're playing man for man on the 2 running backs.
Warren Moon with a first down at the Argonaut 40. Good call for Cole, almost to the 30. John Pointer, 37, to make the stop for Toronto.
Pointer and Wilson made the tackle.
And we'll wait and see exactly where they spot the football.
2nd down, less than a yard.
Just short. A hot night in Toronto. Chance to say good evening to our fallen comrade, Don Whitman, watching this one back in Winnipeg.
Yeah, Don's down. Maybe he's on the injured list. We'll have to check with him.
He's on the injury list, but he'll be back. He's a player. He'll be back.
He better be back, or we're going to put him on waivers.
I don't think we can trade him. 2nd down, less than a yard to go. Some movement. It appeared to be from the Argonaut side of things. Straight ahead, should have enough for the first down, Warren Moon.
Moon showed a little poise on that play. So did the offensive line. They hung in there real well. It was a long count. Made the Argonauts do the jumping.
Moon with a staggered count there. Tried to draw him offside. No call on the Eskimos. Argonauts offside.
Warren must have learned that from the old master, Mr. Wilkinson.
Guess who taught Mr. Wilkinson?
Who?
He'll be someplace out in Edmonton tonight saying that's a lie. He didn't teach me that, but I taught him that.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
You're taking the credit for that?
Absolutely. When
All
he was
those
at the
delayed
rifle
games?
football team.
All that talk Wilkie used to do and tell us he did that, I can't believe that.
First down, Eskimos now. The Argonaut 25. Time for Moon. The open man is Cole. And Cole, good move to get the first down. Leo Gray, 28, forcing Cole out of bounds, but not until he made the first down.
You got to be impressed with Cole, the way he's catching that ball. He's, he doesn't drop anything close.
This time you see the linebackers dropping straight back. It is not a man-to-man defense. So Cole goes outside, and Leo Gray has to chase him, and he throws the ball outside to him. Better put that ball away when he's carrying it, though. But that time wasn't man-to-man, so the quarterback made the right read, hit the right man.
I think it's imperative that the Eskimos get in the end zone this time, not a field goal, but they got to score in order to get back in this ball game.
First down, Edmonton inside the Argo 15. Big pressure on Moon this time. He eludes the first wave and fired. Tom Scott, the closest Eskimo, didn't stand a chance of pulling that one in.
Steve Ackroyd came outside. He was lined up on the line of scrimmage, and there was nobody to block him, and he forced Moon to get out of that pocket. Moon was lucky he got the ball low enough to where it couldn't be intercepted.
That's right. It was good judgment on his part. It was what you call a waste throw. He just wasted it. But he threw it in the direction of receivers, so they couldn't call it purposeful grounding.
All right.
Just saved a big loss.
Sorry, Leo. Big play here. Second down. Eskimos, the Argo 14. Big heat on Moon once more. Rick Marr, 76. You see his happiness. And the Argo fans as well.
That's just a good defensive play. They choked the roll over here. Moon sprints to his left. Right now, he can't get outside because there's a blue shirt, so he steps up inside. There comes more, bang, sack. That's what you got to do, and they've done a good job of it. That Toronto defense is playing well.
So David Cutler comes in. Mike Levenseller, 73 holds for Cutler this season. He'll spot it at the 27. Dead on, and no problem for Dave Cutler as the Eskimos score for the second time in this football evening. They still trail the Toronto Argonauts. Got a long way to come back. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play till halftime. Are in control.
Avis steps ahead with new Avis Express to get you from your plane to your car fast. I'm David Mahoney of Avis. Follow me. Walk right past those crowded airport rental counters, straight to the Avis bus. Avis Express is the first express service that does not require a bus pass, just your name. Your guaranteed rate contract is ready at our express location. Ask for Avis Express. Another way that trying harder makes it second to none.
Well, it's not very often that the Edmonton Eskimos are held to 110 yards in net offense at this stage of the football game. 6 minutes to play till halftime. The Argos out in front, 15-4.
You know what'll do that, John? They've sacked Warren Moon twice tonight. They've had 13 sacks in the last 2 games and 23 on the season. And if you don't have time to throw, you're not going to get too many yards.
Not only that, but it breaks your confidence down just a tad, too.
First down for the Argos. Holloway, far side, intended for Cedric Minter. And he couldn't come up with it. Well, it's a warm, muggy evening in Toronto.
I'll tell you what, this is as hot as I've ever seen it down here. And we used to come here to play a lot, and it was hot, but this is tough.
26 degrees the temperature at game time, and we're in our shirt sleeves.
Hot down there in the field, too, John.
Second down, 10 to go for the Argos from the 35, their own. Holloway for Cox. Against the throw, Cox has the first down, and yards to spare. Finally, Jones over from the other side to make the tackle on Martin Cox. Big first down for the Argos, just when the Eskimos had them penned in a little bit. A 27-yard gain.
27-yard gain for Cox.
This is the same play that was so effective to Greer before, and he just turns back and gets Cox out there. The guard goes out, picks off the corner man, and the tackle comes out and makes a key block, and Cox comes right up inside there for real good yardage. An excellent play.
All right, the Argos first down inside the Eskimo 50 at the 48-yard line. The reverse, Minter for Greer. Does he have running room to the far side? Nowhere to go. Loss of a couple. Eskimo quickly, particularly Gary Hayes. A little slow in developing, Ron.
That took a long time. Holloway came out of there with the ball and actually pitched it up in the air to Greer. You know, he gave it to the back. The back pitched it up. Now he's got to use Holloway for his blocker. And not too many backs like to use quarterbacks as their primary blocker.
It was a great open field tackle by Gray because he was out there one-on-one with Greer, and it could have been disastrous, but he just stayed his ground, watched his belt buckle, made the tackle.
Holloway made his block, by the way, John, just so you know the quarterbacks do make them.
Every once in a while.
That's beginner's luck if he did.
Townsend in for Cox. Holloway on 2nd and 12. Time to throw. Townsend, the intended receiver, couldn't bring it in. Number 30.
Caught the Eskimos just sitting back in his zone. Townsend goes right down the seam. See Holloway back to throw. Dixon's dropping back in his zone. Holloway goes back to his left, throws it right between McLeod and Highball, and over top of the linebacker. Just couldn't quite get it. You see him in that seam right there. knocks it away, or Gary Hayes does, but still a little bit too late.
Eskimos might be a little lucky there with the inexperience of Jeff Townsend. Martin Cox on the sidelines after sustaining a slight knee injury on that big 27-yard reception.
I'll tell you that the tough thing about the Argonaut offense right now is that they send all that motion to the onside, and then they hit that swing back out in the open. There's the coach talking to Holloway on the sidelines there. But they hit the swing back out into the open, get everybody coming that way, and then Holloway will start like he's going to go to that strong side, and he'll turn back and go to a one-on-one on that weak side, and he's going to get Cox and he's going to get Greer, much like he did in earlier ball games, one-on-one on those defenders, and that's how touchdowns are made.
Top 5 passers in Canadian football this season. Tom Clements out in front. Sometimes those statistics don't tell all the truth. Clements with 1,496, but he's lost his last 2 ball games. Now this could be Eskimos. Dan Kearns coming off the field.
John, congratulations goes to Joe Galat over there, who's really had a lot of stick-to-itiveness with those Concords. You know, he's the new coach over there, and he's taken it upon himself to just have patience and build that football team, and it was a great win for him.
Good win for the league last night. 3rd down. Andrew Sishin kicks it away for the Argos. Good high kick. Trieta back to the goal line. And nowhere to go when he made the reception out to the 5.
Excellent coverage by that. That puts them down on that 5-yard line. Well, that's good coverage by Toronto.
3 minutes, 44 seconds to play till halftime. The Argos 15, the Eskimos 4.
From the depths of space, from the edge of the earth, Timex takes quartz to make a watch beyond time as we know it. The Timex Quartz. Quartz for every man. Handsome in the newest ways. So accurate you may have to reset it only once this year. Thin, sleek, elegant. The Timex Quartz. Built and priced in the Timex tradition. Timex. We make technology beautiful.
This is ESPN, the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network.
At halftime tonight, the CFL in action. The highlights with the quarterback and the chalkboard with the coach. All part of halftime. 3 minutes away anyway. Here's Warren Moon over the middle. Tommy Scott, first reception of the game. Big first down for the Eskimos.
You know, in the papers today, Dieter Brockler's talking about covering the Eskimos. Said you got to pay attention to Tommy Scott and take the rest of them one-on-one. That time, you let him alone for a second, he'll find a hole and it'll hurt you. Kenny Johnson, the new from the Montreal Concord, stand here. He's got to be impressed with this ball club. He's got to be very pleased to be joining them.
He's not exactly what you'd call a run-and-shoot quarterback, though, Ron.
No, he isn't. Not much mobility. First down for the Eskimos across their 22. Moon with time to throw this side of the field for Levenseller. And he has the first down at the 35-yard line. Joe Heath, 24, covering and helping Levenseller to his feet. 2:59 now to play till halftime. We'll be back in just a moment.
Asks what you've never seen, never heard, never felt in a video game. Star Master for the Atari Video Computer System. Chart and challenge. Warp, but wait. Fight and fight again. Retreat to refuel. Battle and be blasted right out of your senses. Star Master by Activision.
Eskimos with the first down from their 35-yard line. Rod Conniff has now moved into the ball game in place of Eric Upton, who was shaken up on the last sequence. Nothing serious. Upton catching his breath on the sidelines.
That moved them out of a deep hole. They had that ball on the 5-yard line. Now they're out here ready to move. They got almost 3 minutes to move that thing down. They certainly love to get a score before the half because the Argonauts are really playing great football right now, and they need to get something going.
Argos with a lot of enthusiasm playing at both sides of the ball, too, Ron.
Oh, yeah, their offense right now has got to believe they can handle the Edmonton defense, and that could be trouble in the second half because they've done it in the first half.
Moon from the 35. Intended for Kehoe. He couldn't hang on. Leo Gray figured he had a pretty good shot at pulling that one in himself for the Argos.
I thought he was going to throw to Waddell Smith out there, but he threw it between the two linebackers. It looked like it hit Kehoe, and he should have caught the football.
Kehoe's dressed for this game in relief of Brian Fryer, who was injured last week. So injuries have taken their toll on the Eskimos so far this season and this evening.
Yeah, they've had a few guys get nicked tonight. We'll see whether they get back in the game or not.
Upton still on the sidelines. So is Neil Lumsden. On second down, Moon just dumps it off for Cole. And Cole fights his way close to the first down, but he does come up short. John Pointer, 37 for the Argos to make the tackle.
John Pointer made the tackle. 7-yard gain.
They throw the screen pass here. Moon goes back. He goes straight. See those offensive linemen. Now they run out under the screen. Cole catches the ball. They try to make the block. But who comes in there? Bang. Down he goes. Good defense. You know, a screen pass that averages 8 yards is a good play, but not when you need 10.
You know, it was Pointer coming from that middle area from the linebacker spot. That's a great job of pursuit because the screen was set up. It should have been more successful, but I think he's keying that back, and he saw him go out there, and he just followed him out. It was just a great job of saving the first down.
Hank Alisic across his 35. Carinci waits at the 10. No play. Good punt away by Hank Alisic, forcing Carinci out of bounds the moment he touched the football.
That's the punt coaches love. That is a good distance on the punt. It was high, and then the ball is on the sideline, and Carinci catches it, and he's out of bounds. No return, and it puts them back on their 9-yard line, so they've got 2 minutes to go. Long, long way down the field.
Some kick for Alisic, 59 yards.
No return. That's excellent. That's Coach Campbell talking to Hank, tell him nice catch, or nice kick. Now he's got to tell these guys, play defense.
Argos first down, right on their 9-yard line. Cedric Minter. Up to the 13. Kearns is back in there, as you see, number 58. He led the Eskimo tacklers.
Just a quick toss that time. Towns forced him to turn that thing back inside. Kepley reached over the top and got hold of him. And then they all come to put him on the ground. Kepley gets hold of him, and then you see McLeod came up and hit him, and it's just good defense by that Eskimo team. That holds them to 4 yards, but Toronto would like to run this out.
There it is right here, just that pitch up that we talked about before. Good job there by the right guard on the play.
That was Dixon in there that time, my fault.
2nd and 7. Heat on Holloway. Got it away anyway. Pearson makes the catch in front of Jones and gets away. Holloman had to come back to make the tackle. Indecision in the secondary.
John, what I was going to say is the most important thing that the Argonauts could do at that stage of the game was get out of that bad area down there by the goal line. And this is just what they did here. Holloway throws the ball deep. The defender again has his back turned. Just turns around in time to see it coming. And by the meantime, Pearson catches the ball, makes a nice gain, and improves that field position, and probably gets them in a position where they can hold this lead going in at the first half.
A 37-yard pickup for the Argos. They have a first down at their own 50-yard line. It's exactly as you said, Leo. They should be able to hang on with 1:35 to play till a half. Over the middle, Pearson again. High ball. Finally made the tackle. Pearson might have been lucky because Kepley came flying across the top.
Excellent thrown pass, though. Reads the zone defense. Pearson goes in behind it, and he just drops that ball right over top of Dixon's head. Watch Holloway. You'll see Dixon there, and the ball's just over his head right there into the hole, and Pearson's there all by himself. They've moved that ball a long way in 2 plays.
64 yards in 2 plays. The Argos from the 32 of the Eskimos with another first down. Cedric Minter across the 30.
I think a good play right now would be, as far as the Argonauts are concerned, to try to stay inside those hash marks, run the football, and take their 3 points, not take any chances on interceptions or anything here.
If you joined us late, the Argonauts lead the Eskimos 15-4. There's 1 minute 9 seconds to play till halftime.
And I know, Lancaster, you're looking at me as much as to say you should go for broke.
You got to go get them. You got a chance to get them down. Get them down. Let's go. Got a minute left. A lot of time.
Well, I hope you don't throw an interception. Pressure on Holloway. He unloads for Greer. Touchdown! Holloway flung that board. Greer, who got in behind Holloman and Dixon, and the Argonauts are in front 21-4.
You know what happened there, John? He's been going down the field and running a curl, and Holloman had been gambling for the interception. He ran down, he ran a little bit of a curl, then spun out and went deep. Holloway laid it up. Perfect throw. Nice throw. You see it right here. Holloway comes down. He pumps. That tells Greer, go deep. He spins out around him. Throws it right in his hands. Touchdown. Great play. Great throw.
Oh, he went for the bundle there that time, Ron, just like you said. He took an awful lick when he threw that ball. It looked like he may have hurt his hand a little bit. But what a beautiful throw and what a nice catch. And boy, this gives the Argonauts something to go in at halftime with.
Andrew Sishin adds to the total. Argonauts in front of the Edmonton Eskimos, 22-4. Who would have believed it?
That is a great play right there. Somebody's paying attention because the last two times they've thrown it, Holloman's almost intercepted it. This time they used Holloman's aggressiveness to their advantage, scored a touchdown with 50 seconds left in the half. Got to be a big boost for him going in at the half, up this many points.
All right, you know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a replay of that Grey Cup last year. Ottawa was going in with the same kind of a lead at halftime. Now, the one big difference is that in the third quarter, Wilkinson come out there and kind of put out the fire and started them in the right direction, and then Moon went back in there and won the ball game. But they've got a long way to go. But I'm sure that the Argonauts will be thinking a little bit about what happened at that halftime when the Ottawa Rough Riders were so far ahead of Edmonton in that Grey Cup last year. You can't count them out.
Well, a big play to Terry Greer.
You see Conrad Holloway pointing at that flak jacket. It saved his life there because Towns really hit him.
Sean Kehoe finds a little bit of a seam. He's still in the open at the 40-yard line. And only 41 seconds to play till the half. Don Rose to make the tackle for the Argonauts. Likely not quite enough time to get anything really moving here unless the Eskimos come up with a big, big play.
A lot of time, 41 seconds. You're sitting about 62 yards away from the goal line. You got a lot of time to move the ball.
Anybody on that Edmonton team can run a 100-yard dash in 11 seconds. They got 41. They ought to be able to score 4 touchdowns here.
Eskimos first down. Their own 47. Moon for Cole. Cole running room to midfield. First down. Good defensive play by JoJo Heath, 24.
Nice tackle. That screen was set up well, had a lot of room. Heath come up and got him. Moon's going to go back right here. He's setting that screen pass again. There they go. He's got the lineman in front of him. Cole turns upfield. You'll see Heath come in from outside. Bang. Cuts him right at the leg. Puts him down.
Second down, 1 to go for the Eskimos. Moon. Levenseller has the first down, yards to spare. Inside the 45 of the Argos. Now 25 seconds to play till halftime. Heath again to make the tackle.
Well, in 16 seconds, they got down to the 40-yard line.
He needed to get out of bounds there. Catch that ball and get out of bounds. That extra yard's not worth it. You need the time on the clock.
First down, Eskimos. Moon, time to run or throw. He'll run back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. He paid for maybe 6 inches. Jeff Gabrielson, 72.
Around a situation like that, when you've only got a little bit of time left on the clock, the first thing that the quarterback's got to be thinking about is getting that ball thrown. And the second thing the receiver's got to think about is get out of bounds or score a touchdown. You can't be running around back there looking for a way to make 5 or 10 yards as a quarterback because you'll run the clock out.
Well, Leo, you said before this, sooner or later they was going to send Waddell Smith deep, and they did. Campbell's a little bit concerned. He's going to talk to Moon. But he sent Waddell Smith deep on that play, and Moon got running around. Let's just take a look and see what happens. Moon's in trouble. He steps inside of one. They're coming from the backside. There's a pretty good hit right there. Pointer's coming to get his shot. Gabrielson wants his shot, and finally, bang. He takes 3 good hits there. He didn't want to take too many shots like that, Leo.
Well, he must not have been looking downfield. If Waddell Smith was open, it could have been an easy score for him.
He wasn't open. Toronto went to their zone. They set 2 guys deep with him. Waddell Smith was covered, and that they didn't have anybody else out there with him to take the heat off of him. He was going for broke.
I'll tell you, I I can't express how impressed I am by this Argonaut football team. They're outplaying the Edmonton team offensively, defensively, on the line of scrimmage, and all over, and their special teams are a thing to behold. They have become a football team.
Second down. Just over 10 yards to go for the Eskimos. 5 seconds on the clock. That's Cole to the outside and out of bounds. Maybe time for one more play. No. That's it for the first half. And a resounding ovation for the Toronto Argonauts, who have been very convincing in the opening half of football in their home ball yard tonight. The Toronto Argonauts have the Eskimos trailing by 18 points, and there's reason to celebrate here in Toronto.
When's the last time you heard that kind of noise out of this stadium?
Maybe on a Grey Cup afternoon, but certainly not since we watched the Argonauts in the last little while. It's halftime, and you see the score.
Who would have believed that the score at halftime is Toronto 22, Edmonton 4? Now, anybody ever said that the Argonauts were losers? I can't hardly believe this. I've got a play here I want to show you that the Argonauts used with great effectiveness the first half. Now, here's where Conrad Holloway steps out, looks like he's going to go to this side, then turns and throws the hitch pass back to the offside to Greer. Now, you see the guard and tackle going out in front of him. There's man goal number 59 going out there making a key block. Greer gets back up inside there for excellent yardage. It's the same kind of a play that they threw to Cox a little bit later in this ball game, and it's very effective. What they do is they get the defense going one way, isolate the offender back on the offside, isolate the offender back on the offside, and then go to him. Now, I'm going to show it to you here on the blackboard. They set it up right here, and Conridge takes it, and he steps out to this side right here. All the motion is going in this direction right here. Greer steps back off of the line of scrimmage. Steps back off the line of scrimmage. Conridge turns back and throws to Greer right over here to make sure that he can get it to him. Now, the guard and tackle show pass protection blocking, along with the center on that side. They all three show pass protection blocking. The tackle leads out as a personal interferer, looks to the inside for the linebacker. And picks up the linebacker, and you saw man goal number 59 lead out here and get on Joe Holloman right there. Excellent job of blocking out Holloman. Number 10 right here, Greer catches the ball and comes back to the inside here, makes a great gain out of it. The same kind of a play that they went to Cox on the other side. A great football play, John, and well executed.
I'm surprised by the enthusiasm the Argos have shown as well. They have been a tremendously enthusiastic football team.
Well, let me say something about the Argonaut football team tonight. I said before that they come in here as perennial losers with a two-game bulge and in first place. These people are really playing football. They're deserving everything they get, and they're knocking those Edmonton team off the field. I can't believe it.
I think Lancaster's surprised, too. We'll be back with highlights of the opening half. Ron Lancaster. At halftime, C&E Stadium, Toronto. The Argos in front of the Eskimos, 22-4.
Born of tradition.
Well, 22-4 at the half. The Toronto Argonauts lead the Edmonton Eskimos. What a first half of play by the Toronto Argonauts. They came out all ready to go, and about 5 minutes into the first quarter, things started to happen. Let's take a look at the highlights now and just see what started to happen in the first quarter. As you see right here on the punt, Gary Hayes comes back. He comes down the field. Hamlock, first guy down, makes the hit. The ball pops free. The second guy knocks it around, and Don Moan recovers on the Edmonton 7-yard line. This sets up the touchdown. Just a quick pitch back to Cedric Minner. Starts to his right. The Edmonton defense overflow. He cuts back into the end zone. Touchdown. And the Argonauts go out in front. 7-0 early. Second quarter. Holloway comes out looking. Makes the throw to Greer right underneath Holloman. He gambles for the interception and misses. And McLeod has to come over to make a great tackle to prevent Greer from scoring. This is the play Leo diagram, but the other way. Holloway comes back. I'm sorry, this is the slant first. You'll see right underneath Highball, Cox makes the catch. He dives into the end zone for the Edmonton touchdown. All right, here we go. Holloway sprints out to his right, stops, throws back to Cox. He gets Dan Ferroni out in front of him. He makes the block on Highball, and now Cox's speed comes into play right here. He weaves his way down the field. Looks like he's going to go. Ed Jones comes up from behind. Finally to make the tackle. And then with 1 minute in the second quarter, Holloway comes out. The blitz is on. Towns is coming from the back. A curl and go by Greer outside. He curls on Holloman, goes to the outside. Holloway lays it into there with a minute left in the half to give the Toronto Argonauts a 22-4 lead over the Edmonton Eskimos at the half. An outstanding first half performance by the Argonauts. It's time for them to take charge. Okay, John, let's go over and see what's going on.
Ron, the CompuStats. First half, let's take a look. Even in first downs, 12-12, but the big difference, net offense, the Edmonton Eskimos trailing the Toronto Argonauts 280 to 179. So Warren Moon has to get things cooking for the Eskimos in the second half of play to come back and get the Eskimos close to the Argos here in Toronto. Just before the second half gets underway, Angelo Santucci, what's happening to the Eskimos offensively out there? We're a little bit puzzled.
Well, offensively, we're not doing what we've been doing for the last. We usually just move the ball down the field, mostly passing. That's our best game, and we like to run a lot too. But we're just not doing it today. Today, just they're in a 60 defense, and they're doing all kinds of things. Same thing that happened last week with Winnipeg. They're blitzing the halfback, the weak side, and strong side sometimes, and it's difficult to pick up.
The Argos very fired up. Looks like you've got your work cut out for you in the second half.
I think so. You know, we're going to have to do. We're going to have to move the ball a lot better, and the defense is going to have to come up big too for us. They've opened up some seams, and consequently, they've had some big plays, and we just got to stop them.
Okay, Angelo, thanks very much. Good luck second half.
All right, John.
Well, one would think that the Eskimos will need a little luck in the second half. Bob Obilovich has done an outstanding job with the Toronto Argonauts in the first 30 minutes of this football evening and in his first couple of weeks.
John Wells, what would you think if I said the last time the Edmonton Eskimos were in fourth place in the CFL was in 1971? What happened in 1971? You remember that year?
1971 was an unforgettable year. That's the year that the Toronto Argonauts went to the Grey Cup, and Leon slipped and I fell.
Oh.
Where have I heard that line before? He doesn't use it often, does he?
Not too often, but that's the last time the Eskimos were in fourth place. They've got their work cut out for them. They're down 18 points going into the third quarter. This is the time now for championship teams to come to the front.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Ron. You're 100% right here now. Adversity is theirs for one of the few times in the last couple of years, but they came back, as I referred to before, in that Grey Cup last year, and if they still have the medal that they had last year, they'll come back in this second half, but only time will tell.
On the other hand, though, the Eskimos may be in fourth place, but a victory here tonight makes it a three-way tie for first place in the Western Division. And, of course, that'll be broken tomorrow afternoon when the Blue Bombers and the BC Lions match up. But the Eskimos, if they could come back in this second half, certainly aren't far off the mark. It's not, when we say fourth place, it's not exactly well off, is it?
That's what makes this game a great game that it is, John. You know, we said before the season, we was talking one time that you could possibly drop from first to fifth. Well, the Eskimos can stay in fourth or they can move to first tonight. So, I mean, it's getting to be awful touchy in this CFL this year, and it's great.
John, one thing that I got to point out here that's extremely important as far as the Argonauts are concerned is that they can't afford to sit on this lead. They got to go out and play aggressive football and go for it like it's nothing to nothing right now.
Cedric Minter, second half underway. Minter to the 30-yard line. Tom Towns, number 20, makes the stop for the Eskimos.
I'm sure that their coaches told them that during the half, that, listen, we got to go out there and just pretend like this is a nothing-to-nothing ball game and play it just like it's starting all over again. Forget about being ahead 22-3 and play football.
A warm, muggy night in Toronto. The Argonauts in control, 22-4 on the Edmonton Eskimos. Toronto with a first down from their 25-yard line. Holloway back over the middle. It's intercepted. Kepley inside the 30. Dan Kepley picking it off. Jan Carinci, the intended receiver.
Bad break, John, for the Argonauts. It was really a well enough thrown ball to be caught, but it was deflected and knocked right into Kepley's hands. Here's Kepley in his drop. Crossing pattern in the middle there. See, Carinci had it right in his hands. Kepley just was Johnny on the spot there. It's a great break for Kepley and for the Edmonton team, and this could turn it around.
They'll have to take advantage of it, though. Best field position of the night for the Eskimos at the 29. Angelo Santucci. Almost to the 25, met by Rusty Olson, 79.
Rusty Olson made the tackle.
We point out again, the Eskimos have been hit by injuries in this contest as well. Santucci is playing in relief of Neil Lumsden.
John, you remember the first quarter, Leo said it was a big series, first couple series for the Argonauts. Now it's the Eskimos' turn. This is a big series for them. They've got to get something going now.
This is second down, 7 to go, Eskimos. Moon, time to throw, far side of the field. Tommy Scott has the first down. Good receiver.
That is a great catch right there. He was covered. The ball was thrown perfectly over top the defensive back's head and right into his hand.
Darrell Wilson covering on the play.
You see Moon back to pass. He's looking to his left. Scott's going to go down and go to the sideline right over top the defensive guy's hand into Tommy Scott. Steps out of bounds. That's the guy you look for when you need him.
Fantastic execution, and a couple like that will bolster Moon's confidence.
First down, Eskimos, now at the Argonaut 15. Pressure on Moon left corner. He eludes the first rush. And looks to the end zone. No one is open. Moved into the clear. Waddell Smith for the touchdown. He was very well covered until he sprung free from Don Rose, number 6.
Moon back to pass. Go ahead, Leo.
That was a great job, Ron, here of Moon getting away from the pursuit on this thing. He's out running everybody, looking downfield, and when he threw the ball, it looked like it was going to be dangerous as far as the coverage was concerned. But Smith went back to the ball, and the defender just lapsed off, and it's 6 points. It's a big change at this stage of the game.
Eskimos take advantage of their first break, third quarter. And now Dave Cutler will add to the total. If he connects on this convert, Levenseller to hold. Cutler is good. And the Eskimos have drawn within 11 points of the Toronto Argonauts. They needed an interception return by Dan Kepley and a touchdown reception by Waddell Smith. The scoring drive, as you see there. And the score, Toronto by 11.
Avis steps ahead with new Avis Express to get you from your plane to your car fast. I'm David Mahoney of Avis. Follow me. Walk right past those crowded airport rental counters, straight to the Avis bus. Avis Express is the first express service that does not require a bus pass, just your name. Your guaranteed rate contract is ready at our express location.
Ask for Avis Express. Another way that trying harder makes Avis second to none.
Well, you might see some concern expressed on the face of Toronto head coach Bob Obilovich as he talks to Steve Aykroyd.
I think Aykroyd was the guy coming in hard from the outside that missed the tackle on Moon and allowed him to get outside. And Coach Obilovich is going to tell him, keep him in the pocket where we know where he is. He's dangerous when he's outside.
The veteran Dave to kick it off. The Argos have 3 men deep, including Greer, number 10. Minter in the middle. And John Lowe, 23. To Cedric Minter. A bit of a seam opened up for Minter to the 32. Towns Manchuk, even Dave Cutler in to make the tackle on Minter.
Well, those first half statistics sure tell a lot, don't they? The Toronto Argonauts didn't turn the ball over at all. They had 264 yards in the air. That's a lot. There you see Minter trying to come up. He finds a little bit of seam. Here he comes, trying to get back in there. Bang, everybody gets a shot at him.
First down now for the Argonauts from their 31.5. Holloway, some pressure, eluded that. No, he's down. Dave Boone, 64, in on Holloway. Looked like he might have got Boone, but he was tripped up.
And he got away from Boone, but I think when he had his back turned and tried to regain his balance, he fell over one of his own men right there, John Melnowski, and he fell down on the ground. And then wisely the official blows the whistle because somebody was coming. They'd have speared him pretty good if he tried to get up.
A loss of 5 at 2nd and 15. Holloway has room up the middle, but he comes up short of the first down. David Boone again to make the tackle, 64 for the Eskimos.
David Boone made the tackle.
Got a lot of motion coming to the near side, Ron.
There's Dave Fennell forcing there in the center, but actually Smith does a good job on him, turns him and stays with him and does the job about as well as you can do it. Usually that middle guard in there takes one shoulder or the other. And his seam, as far as his rush is concerned, is left or right. And I think that time I think Smith just helped him in his seam, but he didn't recover very well back to it. Now this game is turning around. If Edmonton gets another score on the board right now, it'll be a whole new ball game.
Andrew Sishin kicks it away. Nice. Good one this time. Gary Hayes back at his 20. Hayes out of bounds at the 33. Likely just as well. He headed for the sidelines there.
Good move. He got all he was only going to get 5 or 6 yards, run out of bounds. That way you don't fumble the football.
Oh, there's Darlene, Miss Breakup saying hi.
Probably a lot of
Your brother back home. I hope it's a lot of her. All right, the Eskimos with the first down from their 33. This is Cole, big hole up the middle. Cole has a pass of 45. Zach Henderson, 31, to make the stop for the Argos.
They've run that play 3 or 4 times tonight. That's the best it's looked. Moon just kind of fakes it. He's going to step to his left, makes the fake, bang, comes back and hands to Cole up the middle. They get him right up through the middle this time, and he gets into the secondary, gets a good game.
First down for the Eskimos then. They're 45. Levenseller very close to a first down. Near the 54-yard line, Don Rose 6 to make the tackle.
Good coverage by Rose that time. Moon threw the ball to the sideline, make Levenseller come back and get it. If the ball was thrown inside at all, Rose would have had a shot at it. There's no defense for a perfectly thrown ball.
And a perfectly thrown ball is oftentimes thrown with confidence, and confidence comes out of big plays. And that was a big play when they intercepted that ball down there and then had the good fortune to take it in to score. And that's really turned the attitude of the game around.
2nd and 1, Eskimos at the 53.
John, you know what we're going to have to do later is talk about those Carling O'Keefe game stars before long. I'll tell you what, I don't want to have to pick them right now.
Well, the complexion of this game could change. I think we'll wait a little bit and reserve our decision until maybe the 4th quarter. Angelo Santucci. And I don't know.
John Pointer's playing with a little bit of enthusiasm against his old mates tonight. He's really filled that hole on that straight-ahead dive play and made good contact.
Well, the marker on this side is right on the yard marker, and the ball is over the yard marker.
I think
maybe an inch or two, so he has to make it unless the yard marker on this side is wrong.
He got the good spot that time.
All right, Leo.
Oh, those officials are trying to take kinks out of that chain. It didn't seem like it. You know, this yard marker on this side can't be right because the yard marker on this side is right on the white line. The ball's over the white line.
The field's crooked.
I think Huey Campbell ought to go over there and take a little look at that.
Well, the one on the near side of the field with the single post is only unofficial. So now, 3rd down, less than a yard to go, the Eskimos. They have to get across into Argo territory at the 54 for a first down.
Only one play here, and that's the quarterback sneak, nothing else. That's it.
Moon has the first down. No flags are down. The Eskimos keep their drive alive.
There's those offensive linemen just going to go straight ahead, get as much room as they can get, and the quarterback just puts his head down and follows them.
Pretty good job around by that offensive line. They knocked that blue line right off the ball.
Well, they certainly did time, didn't they?
That's right. There's a lot of talk about the offensive line of the Edmonton Eskimos, but that time they looked like an offensive line surging.
They've had to make a change up there, too, gentlemen. Rod Knopp is in for Eric Upton. For Santucci. He couldn't hang on, slightly behind him.
Got tipped at the line of scrimmage, John. I believe Olsen got his hand on that ball and tipped it up in the air. Boy, when that happens, you never know what's going to happen because that defensive back's going to be in a good position. Let's see if we can see it. Moon steps back. He's looking for Santucci in the flat just as he throws the ball. You see 79 go up there and get those hands on it, and that causes the ball to go end over end and change direction.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Moon, 17 out of 24, 200 yards.
Wide open here, John.
One thing, they're up close. Here they come. Offside. Nope, not going to call.
No play. Moon has to unload. Kehoe couldn't get over. Smith.
Well-timed rush by the Argonauts that time. They had everybody up within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, and their linebacker hit it right on the head. Let's see what happens here. We're going to take a look at this. There they come, right there. Pointer is coming right up that seam, gets blocked by the center right away, but the outside man chases him out of there, throws it. Keogh's coming, just too far.
Well, when you're running for your life like that and you're off balance, there's no way you can get enough out of it. You know that from past experience.
Running backwards, throwing forwards, just doesn't work too often.
On 3rd down, Alyssa kicks it away from his 41.
Nice.
Cedric Minter. No play. Where do they rule it out of bounds? At the 1. Just about perfect.
Wow.
Argos, super kicks. Will start from deep in their own zone. The Toronto Argonauts will return with their...
North Melbourne and Carlton try to follow the bouncing ball in an Australian rules football matchup Sunday on ESPN.
The Edmonton Eskimos like what they got on that last exchange. The CompuStats show the Eskimos narrowing the gap a little bit in net yardage. Also on the scoreboard, it was 22-4 at the half. It's now 22-11 for the Argonauts, leading the Eskimos. Toronto with a back.
What are CompuStats? That's computer, isn't it?
That's short for computer.
All right. See that, Leo? I knew that.
You're a PE student, that's why.
Cedric Minter, nowhere to go.
I'll take.
Minter carried.
And this is where the CompuStats are formed and gathered together. Doug Kelcher, the man at the keyboard there.
All right, Doug.
Everything you wanted to know about what went on in this football game is there, right at that man's fingertip.
Nothing fancy here. They're just going to come straight ahead. There comes Kepley. Kepley makes the hit, and they got a bulldog on him. And then Boone and all his friends come.
Kelcher looks like Liberace on those keys.
All right, for Minter, a gain of a yard. This is 2nd and 9. Big play for Holloway here. He looks long for Greer. Holloman couldn't make the play. High ball. Out of bounds.
Good concentration by Greer there, but the ball was caught out of bounds. Joe Holloman went up in front of him, and both hands was in his face. He made the catch. One thing about throwing down here, you're usually going to throw it deep, and Holloway comes back, and he's going to try to go for everything down the right sideline to Greer. You'll see Holloman jump right in front of him. Good concentration, catches the ball, lands out of bounds. Did the Eskimos come after him here, Leo? What do you think? Going to block it?
I would say in this part of the field, they'll probably play it safe because they know they're going to get good field position here. And if they go in there and try to block it, they might rough the kicker and lose some yardage.
Well, I know this much. Edmonton's a man short.
Not the kind of mistake you would expect to see the Eskimos make. Andrew Sishin, short kick away this time. Gary Hayes, straight ahead to the 40-yard line. Very close to the sideline as he dances.
I'd like to take another look at that one just to see something.
He was awfully close, no question about it.
Let's see. Let's see if we can see it. Hayes catches it. He's walking a tightrope right there.
He could be in the circus with a return like that.
I got 3 things right here that are very significant so far this second half. Number 1 was that interception. Number 2, that punt for Edmonton that went on the yard line. And number 3, Greer being out of bounds on that nice catch up the field.
Warren Moon on 1st down. The Bruins, the intended receiver, number 79. He's from the University of Western Ontario in his first year with the Eskimos.
Darrell Wilson the ball's in his hand, the arm comes in from the inside, bang, pulls it right out of there. Good defense by Wilson.
Excellent defense. But those 3 things that I pointed out just show how a ball game can turn around. The Argonauts were getting those breaks the first half, and now the breaks are going to Edmonton. Now Edmonton's got to capitalize.
Second down and 10 to go the Eskimos at the Argo 40. Big pressure on Moon again. Earl Wilson, number 58, led the charge. Two cracks just Warren Moon that time.
Moon back to throw right here. You see the linebackers coming out to cover the man-to-man on the back. They've got the inside receivers covered. There's nowhere to throw the football. The four-man Toronto rush put the heat on him. Moon looks like he's going to escape, and bang, down he goes. 3 sacks tonight. Good defense by the Argonauts.
So young David Cutler comes forth from the 50-yard line. His longest of the year, 53 yards. So he's just within range. Straight on.
Cutler's in range in the next county.
Well, he's good.
That's a fantastic kick. He'll win a lot of ball games for you.
Dave Cutler gets the Eskimos a little closer. They still trail the Argonauts by 8. But so far in the third quarter, it's been all Edmonton. We have 6 minutes, 33 seconds to play in the third.
Here's the guy right down here on the sidelines that losing is an absolutely new experience for Huey Campbell. Doesn't look like he's ruffled at all, though. It looks like he's taking it pretty good.
I think those centers don't have a tough life. A million snaps the ball, and when you got your head down like that, they put a guy over top of you and try to drive you right back into the kicker, and they almost did.
Now the Argos with a first down at their 35.
That's why they have Team Dennis.
Holloway far side for Greer. It's complete. No.
Well, there's a few fans here that's going to disagree with that one.
I'll tell you that.
I thought the original ruling was a completed pass over there. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you, the officials got a lot of nerve. That's right in the middle of the Argonaut bench.
Well, somebody over there is going to do a little talking.
He's right. He's 100% right. He come right down on the white line.
I'll tell you what, that's good to see, because 46,000 don't believe it. 40, referee stands there and says, old number 47 never makes a mistake.
Well, a good call. He was on the money there. Second down and 10, Argos now. Holloway, an impressive evening, 265 yards. He'll have to move here. Towns has him at the 25. A loss of 10 yards on second down.
Well, he had Paul Pearson wide open. One of the Eskimo defensive backs took too many steps backward, but he never had a chance to get the ball off. Towns come in and choked it off, made the sack. So he's going to get good field position again.
I would think they might go after it tough here, because some of them went after it that last time down the end zone, and they almost got there, so they may go all out this time, try to get it.
I meant to ask you about that. They did go after it pretty good down there, didn't they?
Sure did.
Are they going this time? Yes, sir. They're going, Will. Watch it.
Andrew Station from his 14.
I don't know. Every time I see a guy faking like that, I don't think they're going. Take a look. Nope, just going to hold them up. Nice kick.
Emilio Prieta to the 35. Good upfield tackle. Don Rose. Prieta had a little more room if Rose doesn't make a good play.
Good open field tackle. Cornerback covering the front well. Takes the outside. Makes a good tackle. One-on-one tackle. You see him catch the ball. Don Rose is to the right. You'll see number 6 show up. He breaks down, makes nice play. Reach out, pull him down.
If you watch that play, though, they had the coverage had them bracketed. There was no seams there for him to go. He had to try to get to the outside because everything on the inside was covered. And Rose just broke down and didn't let him get to the outside, make a great open field tackle.
So the Eskimos, first down at their 35-yard line.
Okay, Leo, you better start doing some thinking. Harlan will keep game stars after a while. We may leave that whole decision up to you.
Might be your chance. Might be your turn.
I'm up to it tonight.
You're ready, huh?
I'm ready.
Cole. It's tough running inside against that Argo front four this time.
Because you got me last time, but not this time. Before they plug that middle up in a hurry.
Gabrielson, 72.
No room at all. Fakes to the left, turns back, same play they made yards with last time. Watch the blue shirts start showing up. One, now he stopped up, comes Moan and everybody else. Rick Moores makes the shot and knocks him down.
That wasn't a classic example of running the daylight, though. he ran right to his jerseys.
Well, it's hard because it's night.
Second down and 8. The intended receiver, Tommy Scott. Darrell Wilson, 13, was with Scott.
They both read it right. The Toronto Argonauts decide they're going to come after time, and they put the heat on him right up the middle. Watch them. Here come the linebackers. There comes Pointer. There he comes Gabrielson. Tommy Scott goes inside. He just goes behind him.
A well-thrown ball there runs a touchdown.
Sure. Tommy Scott got inside of the defensive back. If he makes that catch, it goes a long way.
The cardinal error in man-for-man coverage on a blitz is that you can't let those guys get to the inside. You got to push them to the outside, because they get to the inside and get a step on you, it's all over.
Alisic across the 25. He skied this one. Minter and Carinci move up. Carinci bobbled the ball, flags are down. Eskimos within that 5-yard area. So the Argos will gain a couple more after the return by Carinci. The Argonauts out in front of Edmonton, 22-14.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend on top of the world style. Whether you're 100 stories above the city or a mile up in the mountains, the smooth and mellow taste of Michelob makes weekdays a little more special all across the country.
It's the best beer in the house. Put a little weekend in your weekend.
North Melbourne and Carlton try to follow the bouncing ball in an Australian rules football matchup Sunday on ESPN.
So the Toronto Argonauts will take advantage for the first down, just outside their 50-yard line.
Relatively free from injury or from penalties tonight. Very unusual.
Cedric Minter up to the 55 in the grasp of James Parker, number 40. This program is copyrighted and strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited.
I want to do that sometime.
You know what's funny, John? Norm Kimball's not here tonight. He's in Edmonton. His son Doug got married today. Doug and Linda, I think her name's Linda Lee, got married today. You'd think with all Norm Kimball's power, he could have changed the game.
Or moved the wedding to Toronto.
Well, one or the other. I think he could have just said, hold it, I can't be there Saturday. Let's play it Sunday.
I told his daughter to elope.
It was his son. His son.
Oh, okay.
Pay attention, Leo.
His daughter-in-law.
3 minutes, 20 seconds to go till three-quarter time. The Argonauts picked up 4. It's a 2nd and 6, just shy of.
Well, they're talking about something. I guess they're ready to play football now.
It seems like those outside men on the line of scrimmage are falling off with the motion every time and not coming from the outside. And I don't understand why they don't do it like they did in that first game.
Second and 7. Holloway looking long. It's intercepted. McLeod didn't believe he had the football. Back to the 50-yard line, out of bounds where he fumbled, but the Eskimos will retain possession. Right into Mike McLeod's mitts.
Tell you one thing, Mike McLeod was 35 yards deep. He was making sure nobody got behind him, and then he just sat there and read the quarterback, and he throws it right in his hand. Holloway's looking down there. He throws it. Watch, Mike McLeod's going to step in there, and there's no one near him.
He can't believe it. Look.
No, but he's happy. First one of the year. All right. Got a little penalty.
Larry Highbaugh is arguing with the officials. Maybe we can get a confirmation here from Blair Shallow.
Edmonton number 13. First down, Toronto.
Oh-ho.
Well, that hurts. Interference away from the ball. That's a no-no.
Well, what a turnaround that is.
Dan Kepley goes over, tries to block for McLeod. He gets Freddie Dunbar, the trainer, and puts Freddie down. Freddie's tough, though. He can handle that.
Freddie will be in the whirlpool tomorrow.
The whole day. All right, the Argos on the turn of events retain possession, have a first down. The interception will not stand. Here's Cedric Minter. Ralph Dixon. Now, that's something you don't see very often. Interference called well away from where the ball was thrown.
Well, that's a hard play to call, but you know, sometimes the officials are watching the play, they're watching their side of the field, and out of good conscience, if they throw the flag down, it's difficult to fault them, but boy, it's tough on the coach on the sidelines, because that's a call that's really difficult to call. You know, away from the play, just doesn't seem like it should be involved.
Gain of 1 for the Argos. This is 2nd and 9 inside the Eskimo 45. Holloway intended it for Minter. It bounced once before it got close. So 3rd down and 9 faces the Argos.
Didn't throw that ball exactly the way he wanted it to that time. Minter hadn't yet made his break, and he was forced to let it go and got too far out in front of him. Now comes Zenon in to try a field goal.
Would you consider a fake field goal pass here at all, Ron?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Now, it hasn't been thrown this year.
Right. Well, we'll see.
A long way to go for Andrew Cision. 48.5 yards. It's wide. Highball in the end zone. Gives up a single point quickly. So that gives the Argonauts a 23-14 lead in the Eskimos. Still in the 3rd quarter, 1 minute 29 seconds to play. A hot, muggy night at Toronto's Exhibition Stadium.
You see the snap's too low. It bounces on the ground. Holloway gets it up, but he had the laces. The laces looking at a kicker. I'll tell you what, no kicker wants to see those laces when he's trying to kick a field goal. But the quarterback will get rid of them if he gets a good snap, and he didn't get it.
I'll tell you, a lot of quarterbacks couldn't handle that. Holloway's a great baseball player in his day. He picked that up on the first half. He didn't get the laces turned around right, but he got it up there, which was amazing.
The Eskimos now with a first down. They're 41-yard line. Lots of time. New quarterback in. Correction on that. 14 is Warren Moon in disguise.
I think he tore his jersey and they made him take it off. That's what they were talking about that time. The referee put him out because of that new dress code rule. He had to get out there and get a new one.
That's just about how many points he needs right now in a hurry. Is another 14.
Toronto set deep zone that time. You're not going to throw the ball deep against a 4 deep zone, and he tried it.
2nd and 10, Eskimos.
They're in it again.
Time for Moon. Great catch, Levenseller at the 45-yard line of the Argos. Best catch of the night.
Best, no doubt about it there. So the outside linebacker over there, I'm trying to get his number. He dropped straight back, and he was trying to play games with Warren Moon. If we get a chance, we'll see him over there. Moon will turn, look to his left. There's a halfback there. He lets the guy in the flat. Last minute comes up, but that opens Levenseller, and he goes up and makes a great catch.
Fantastic catch.
Big play for the Eskimos, who have a first down now inside the Argo 50 at the 45. 13 seconds to play till three-quarter time. Moon wearing 14 for Keogh. And he dropped his 2nd of the night.
Well, not much you can do about that. The ball's there. You should catch it.
Well, I bet you Campbell cringes when they drop one like that, because there wasn't very many that he ever dropped like that. What was his number? What wasn't his number? 31?
Yeah, 31. Yep.
Yeah, that was 31 that dropped that ball. Just a reflection from years back just come in my mind, and Huey Campbell, number 31, was out there. He didn't drop those.
Here they come. Looks like trouble.
2nd and 10. Moon unloads quickly, tips at the line of scrimmage, or else Tommy Scott goes easily.
Aykroyd made a super play. If he doesn't deflect that ball, Santucci walks to the end zone.
So the Eskimos will regroup on 3rd down. We're ready for 4th quarter action in just a moment. The Argos out in front, 23-14.
You're going to see Aykroyd making this terrific play here at the spur of the moment. The last moment he touched it, or he saved the touchdown. Santucci gets that. It's all the way into the end zone. Last week, about 2 weeks ago, I was in the west end of Toronto and ran into Aykroyd and young Pearson, two fine young players for the Toronto Argonauts, and we stopped and and had a Coca-Cola together, and they are fantastic young guys, and they really got a great attitude, and you can see why these Argos play so hard.
Does this surprise you here, punting? And not a field goal?
Well, it'll be a long field goal. This is 3rd and 10. Field goal from about the 52. I guess that's close. Where will they spot that one?
Let's see. Here comes the ref. Let's see where they mark it.
At the 2-yard line. The Argos unhappy about the spot of that football.
You know, that poor referee on the sideline down there is getting all this flack, but really, the head referee stands behind the punter, and he lines that punt up where it goes out of bounds, and then he runs down the field and points to it, and then that guy just puts his foot where he tells him.
That's right. He had nothing to do with it, that guy down there at the end zone.
The Argos start deep in their own zone once more. That's twice that Alisic has hammered them right back within the 5-yard line. Previous punt went right down to the 1 and up.
I'll tell you what, that's 2 punts. It's not bad. You know, you'd like to kick it from the 10-yard line in. They put it on the 1 and the 2. Now, that's cutting it pretty close to that end zone.
Holloway from the 2. Tip. The intended receiver, Carinci. Kepley got a hand on it. And luckily, too.
Yeah, that Carinci was open, and Dan Kepley made the good play. Got the hand up and deflected it away. Holloway throws it. You're going to see the ball on his way to Carinci. Kepley jumps up, deflects it, or Carinci's got it. Tell you what, you got to give Holloway a lot of credit. That's tough throwing from the 2.
Well, that's almost a duplication of Aykroyd's play right there. The only difference was I think Santucci would have scored.
Second and 10, Argos from their 2. Holloway time once more. And that one fired out of bounds. Alisic retrieves it on the sidelines. A one-hander. Paul Pearson, the intended receiver.
Well, I'm going to say something right now. It's 13 minutes and 55 seconds to go in this ball. A lot of things can happen, but I've seen enough out here tonight to understand one thing. The Argonauts are for real. I'll tell you, they're playing every phase of the game, and they're not playing it by accident. Their offense is moving the ball. Their defense is playing aggressive. Their special teams are fantastic. They've really come along, and they're going to be reckoned with this year. You just got to give them credit.
They're playing with a lot of emotion, Leo, and you get a lot of young guys playing like that. Then they get the experience to go with it, and they get tough.
Andrew Sishin from deep in his end zone. That's Gary Hayes. Excellent field position for the Eskimos as Hayes goes out at the 20.
That is one thing you don't want to do. Andrew Sishin was punting from the end zone on the near side hash mark, punted it to the wide side of the field. Hayes catches it on a dead run. You can't cover that fast, and he makes a heck of a return. They got great field position.
That's a great point, Ron. Absolutely great point. And when we're talking about special teams, I'm sure their coaches reminded Andrew Sishin of that in the past, too. You just can't do that because you've got all that field to run to. He'd have been better off to take 2 points down there because they're going to get at least 3 out of this.
Well, they're on the 21.
For Hayes, a 36-yard return. Eskimos with a first down. Deep inside the Toronto zone. Tommy Scott over the middle has a first down inside the 10-yard line. Warren Moon right on the money. Warren Moon wearing sweater 14. If you joined us a little bit late, he had to change sweaters.
He steps right back there and sees him coming in on just a turn-in pattern right there, a quick in, and he just catches it. And that's the kind that you hit those seams on. It can go a long way, too.
All right, the Eskimos first and goal to go just inside the Argonaut 10. Moon in trouble, fired to the end zone. Levenseller, outstanding.
That is one of the best catches that you see any place, anytime.
Outstanding catch in a row, Mike Levenseller. How about that?
That is an outstanding catch. Moon was pressured again, coming from his left side. He scrambled back. Let's take a look. Moon's going to see that 31. He's there. He just throws it deep into the end zone. Watch this catch by Levenseller. One hand, juggles it, pulls it down, touchdown. Great catch.
Don Rose covering, couldn't have done a thing about it. So Cutler will try to add to the Eskimo total here. He's good, as the Edmonton Eskimos, who trailed at halftime, have now drawn within 2 points of the Toronto Argonauts. Still lots of time to play in the fourth quarter. 12 minutes.
You know, they're going to make the catch. You can't cover them much better. Make the great catch. That's what wins for you.
Eskimos will kick it off. Dave Cutler for Minter, Greer, or Lowe. Deep for the Argonauts.
It's going to be a hard one to handle. Nope, right up in the air.
Cedric Minter tries the outside. Away from one Eskimo tackler, but he's run down by number 75, Bill Manchuk.
Don't let the ball hit the ground on artificial turf on a kickoff. It takes some weird bounces. 20-yard line. Got a tough way to go now. The Eskimos should have a little bit of momentum their side now.
I wonder if they're going to come back to that hitch pass that we showed at halftime that they had so much success with, throwing to Greer and to Cox in that first half.
The quarterback comparison as Moon continues to narrow the gap, and in percentage, he's winning. On the scoreboard, the Argos are leading with a first down at their own 20. Holloway still looking to throw, complete to Terry Greer. And he has a first down. Somehow Greer slipped in behind the Eskimo coverage. They didn't know he was there.
Well, Greer went deep, and then when Conridge got in trouble, he just curled back around and went to the sideline, which is a good place to go, because if he's covered, he can throw it out of bounds. You see Conridge going to sprint to his right. He takes a look, doesn't like what he sees. Now he starts to scramble, gets outside, looks downfield, and he'll see Greer stand there. He's giving a little directions right here. Finds Greer on the sideline, and Dixon comes over and makes the good hit. Knocks it out of bounds, but it's Argo ball.
And a first down for Toronto at their 35. Holloway intended that one for Pearson. He couldn't hang on. Made a valiant try at it, but in heavy coverage by the Eskimos, who by the time the ball got there had 3 defenders over.
Well, he got him in that zone again, and he got Pearson down between Mike McLeod and Highball, but the ball was up just long enough for Highball to come from the outside and almost intercept it. It would have been a good play either way. Whoever catches it, that's just one of those things the ball should hit the ground when you have a collision.
So the Argos look at second down and 10 to go from their own 35.
This wouldn't be a bad time for that hitch, Leo.
Yeah, they should be playing them loose.
Everyone's coming. Holloway had to get that one away. Pearson, the intended receiver. The big charge from Gary Hayes, 28 for the Eskimos.
Toronto was expecting the blitz that time, though. They sent their backs in separate motion, and they kept them in that time to pick the blitz up. But that man right there, Gary Hayes, you know, there's no one left to block the defensive halfback, and he got the free shot and caused the ball to be underthrown.
You want to swap like that or what?
11 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Andrew Sishin on third down kicks it away for the Argos from his 20.
This is a big punt right here for Lieutenant Andrew Sishin. Field position is beginning to mean a lot in this ball game.
Balisic has won the punting battle so far. Gary Hayes. A 4-yard return. Doug Moen upfield to make the tackle. So the Eskimos, pretty good field position, take over with a first down. When we resume from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto.
This bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
This bud's for you, for all you do. The beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This bud's for you.
Well, it's getting late, and some Argonaut fans have their posters out tonight. It's getting a little bit dark here. But Warren Moon has come on shining in the second half. He's wearing number 14 right now. Warren Moon. Eskimos, first down at their own 44. Moon, far side of the field, Levenseller. And he has the catch.
Good coverage by Rose. Rose is right on top of him again. The ball's thrown low, and Levenseller goes down and makes the catch. Moon sprints to his right. Levenseller's going to go down and deep side. He doesn't back Rose off one bit. He throws it low. Rose has got good coverage, but Levenseller makes the catch.
So a first down for the Eskimos. Across their own 50. Moon for Santucci. He couldn't hang on. Another injured Eskimo on the sidelines. That's Gary Hayes.
Can't get hurt, Gary. I can see putting water on your face, get a little air.
It's a good effort here by Santucci, but he was all by himself if he would have caught that ball. Santucci doesn't have blazing speed by any stretch of the imagination, but he'd have walked in on that one if he caught it.
Now second down Eskimos across their own 50. Moon, time to throw. Kehoe, the catch. Well short of the first down. He came back for the football.
Sign of inexperience right there. Second down and 10, a receiver has to get the first down. Otherwise, it's of no value. They're still going to have to punt the football. 8 yards or 7 yards does you no good at this stage of the game.
The way the Argos are playing defense, it seems as they've got any kind of a play-action type pass, the Edmonton Eskimos, to hold those linebackers in, that the middle is wide open. But they've been dropping back and sprinting out. They haven't done anything to hold those linebackers in there. The linebackers are dropping back and making it difficult as ever to throw in there.
For the Eskimos, Hank Alisic near his 45. Jan Carinci. Straight ahead. Good return to the 20. Tommy Towns, number 20 for the Eskimos. And Ralph Dixon to make the tackle.
Has to jump to get this one a little bit too high. Now he has to rush the punt. Doesn't hit it the way he wants. He can kick it a little bit farther than that. 9 minutes left, John. 9 minutes, fourth quarter. 2-point game.
I think we've got a lot of football action remaining here.
Well, the Argonauts have got to be aware that Edmonton can get in close enough to get that field goal. They've got the guy to get it there.
Cedric Minter, a gain of a couple. Well, Huey very intense on the sidelines this evening.
Talking to Warren Moon a little bit.
I liked his comment about his 2-game losing streak yesterday.
Yeah.
Said Joe DiMaggio didn't give up playing baseball when his hitting streak was stopped at 56 games.
Right. That was in reference to their first time they've lost 2 in 4 years, you know, and he makes a good point.
A pretty good job of rationalizing the negative.
What does that mean?
This is 2nd and 7 for the Argos now. Big pressure on Holloway. He eludes it and has what appears to be a first down. Kearns and Dixon bringing down Conrad Holloway. He was trapped back there and got away somehow.
Went back and took a look and saw the lane open up there to the left and very alertly took it. Broke a tackle right here and just got up there enough to get that first down. But plays like that are what keep you out of trouble and keep that ball moving.
No question, a big play for the Argos, who have a first down at their 31. Holloway, complete for Minter. Out of touch at the 36. Forced out by Ed Jones, 24 for Edmonton. On the sideline, Levenseller gasping for air. It was 26 degrees at the start of this football evening, and it's dropped 1 degree, so it's a hot night in Toronto.
He's hurting a little bit, but I'll tell you what, he's made some good catches for him tonight. 25 degrees Celsius right now. That's awful hot for this lake.
7 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Argos out in front of the Eskimos by 2. Toronto, 2nd down and 5. Towns through to put pressure on Holloway. He eludes it. And Greer makes the reception. Terry Greer. He's been an outstanding performer for the Argos so far.
Okay. Here you see an indication right here of how those offensive or defensive linemen are getting tired. Fennell is trying to overpower that center, but he's lost all the quickness in his legs, and he's not being very effective rushing. When you get those defensive linemen letting up and not getting that pressure on that quarterback, you'll get that ball to those receivers.
Condredge Holloway, 2 big plays in succession, 2 first downs to the Argos from their own 50. Minter just back to the line of scrimmage.
Dan Kern's done a good job. Done a good job for him. Now, he made the hit on Holloway when he scrambled up the middle. Right there, he made another big play for him.
Martin Cox, far side of the field, has ice on his left knee. He's been out since early in the game. The Eskimos have lost a couple of players, too, including Neil Lumsden, 32, and 57, Eric Upton.
Little handoff. You see Dan Kearns right there. Gets underneath him, upsets him. Jeff Townsend's been in for quite a while now from Martin Cox. And he's got that ice bag on the knee. That's not a good sign.
All right, a big second down for the Argos here, just shy of their side of the 50-yard line. Long for Greer. Makes the catch. Score! Terry Greer.
John, I'll tell you something. That is the formation that they use to throw the hitch pass to Greer. When they send those guys in motion, Holloman comes up and gets right on him in the line of scrimmage. This time, Holloman just couldn't catch him. Greer went outside of him, all the way through a pretty pass, and he's gone.
Just great execution.
You see right here, Holloway's going to have a man right in his face. It's boom. He just lays it up, and it's a foot race, and Greer wins it hands down.
I'll tell you, you almost have to have radar to throw a ball that accurately under those conditions. There's a little bit of luck connected with things.
A 60-yard pass play. Condredge Holloway to Terry Greer. And the Argos in control convincingly again. Andrew Sishin adds to the total. Toronto Argonauts have brought their fans to life at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. The Argos out in front of the Eskimos by 9 points. 6:13 to go till full time, and we'll continue in a moment.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
It's Cheech and Chong. And Cheech and Chong taking the high road all the way to Vegas in search of truth.
I feel like we're wearing dresses, man.
Beauty.
Hey, baby, how's it going?
And a piece of the action.
We have a very special surprise planned for you.
Things are tough all over. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
This is ESPN, the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network.
6:13 to play, and Exhibition Stadium alive in Toronto as the Argonauts out in front of the Eskimos by 9 points, 30-21, Toronto. And that's the third game in succession that the Eskimo defense has given up 30 points or more. Sean Kehoe on the return for Edmonton to the 20-yard line.
Well, Zach Henderson again down there.
Bob Obilovich said he's definitely the leader on defense, also on special teams, Ron.
Well, he certainly has done the job for them. I'll tell you, when you get a guy that you want to be a leader, and he does it on special teams, you can't ask anything more.
I'd like to point something out right here. There's 6 minutes and 7 seconds left. And in a ball game like this, if Edmonton's going to have to come to the fore, conditioning is what's going to count. Now, it looks to me, just looking at these two football teams, like Toronto is in better condition physically than Edmonton is. And you know that old saying that conditioning or fatigue makes cowards of us all. Well, that will never be more evident than in this last 6 minutes and 7 seconds. So whoever wants it bad enough is going to have to go out and get it right now.
First down for the Eskimos.
Got a picture of Dave Fennell on the sidelines right there, boy, and I'll tell you, it looks like he is sucking for air.
Warren Moon wearing number 14. In trouble again. Couldn't get it away. They flag him that time. Another sack for the Argos. Going into the game, the Eskimos have given up 22 quarterback sacks, 13 in the 2 prior games to tonight. I think that's number 4.
We said before the game, offensive linemen are not responsible for all the sacks. But when you bring 4 defensive linemen, they are the offensive lineman's responsibility. That is the lineman's sack. You've got to be able to keep 4 guys out of there.
It looked like 3 of them got there that time.
They had a meeting at the quarterback. Bobo Vilovich has got to be happy. That's 4 more quarterback sacks tonight. Can't win doing that.
Moore and Earl Wilson meeting at quarterback Warren Moon, forcing a 4-yard loss at 2nd and 14. 5:37 to play in the 4th quarter, and the Eskimos trail by 9. Moon. Levenseller couldn't hang on. Likely the easiest catch he had to make in the last 3 or 4.
Wasn't that hard a catch for him. He turned and looked for the ball. The ball was a little bit high. He didn't find it soon enough in the air. That's what happened there. He should catch it, though. See, Moon lets it go. Levenseller's turning around. He just didn't adjust to it in the air fast enough.
It would have been a great catch, though. He went up in the air for it.
Toronto went to a 3-deep zone that time, and they sent Tommy Scott deep, and they had to cover him, so they freed it up short, which is a good move at this late in the ball game in a 9-point lead.
On 3rd down, Alyssa kicks it away to the Argos. Carinci. The flag down. Carinci lost the ball. Bill Manchuk comes up with a football, but we'll wait and see.
I think they're going to rule it dead.
Manchuk for the Eskimos came out of the pile with the football. We may have a little meeting over this one.
Yeah.
Flag is down.
Holding against the Argos.
Well, Carinci catches the football. He just wants to get up and get down this late in the game. He tries to give a little move and gets hit, and the ball pops loose. And there you see it. It's going to come out of there again, and then finally Manchuk's going to find it. But the Argonauts keep possession, and that's more important than that 15.
5 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. The Argonauts ahead of the Eskimos, 30-21. A big offensive set here for the Argos if they can control the football.
Well, this is where the Edmonton team's going to have to throw care to the wind and really go after them.
And the 21, first down Toronto. Cedric Minter to the 25, a gain of 4. A lively spot, Leo. Does this remind you of when you were down on the sideline?
No, they're winning.
We know your record, Leo. It was dead even, wasn't it? 54, 54, and 1 tie.
I don't like to talk about that second time around, though. First time it was 42, 27, and 1.
Somehow I knew you might remember that. This is 2nd and 6, Toronto. Cedric Minter. And Minter stopped short of the first down at the 31. He did get pretty close, however.
There's no let's take another look at that thing or anything else. Bobo Vilovich is sending that punting team out right now.
2 Eskimos down on the play. Bunnell and Kearns. In fairness to the Eskimos, this heat and humidity is a little bit more than they would be used to back home.
Yeah, Western clubs have trouble with the humidity. The heat's not bad, but the humidity is what gets them when they come down here. You see Minter just trying to cut back. Dives. He's trying to reach for that first down. Dives over top of Dave Purnell. Well, they're going to measure it anyway. It's going to be about a yard short, I think, Leo.
Well, if it's even an inch short, Vilovich has only got 1 call here, and that's to punch football and get out of trouble.
9-point lead, 4 minutes left. Kick the football.
Well, we're narrowing in on our Carling O'Keefe Sports Game Stars. We'll have those selections for you at the conclusion this evening. There's still 4 minutes, 6 seconds worth of football, so we won't make our final decisions for a moment yet.
You cannot take anything away from these Toronto Argonauts. They are playing, and they're playing well.
attitude is what Obilovich said impressed him most about his team and the short time he's had them during the CFL regular season. The record for the Argos, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. That's already better than what they finished with in 1981.
Sure is.
Andrew Sishin gets a pretty good one away for Gary Hayes. Will try the far side. Reverses. Hayes, good running room. Watch out here now. Gary Hayes with an excellent play. Andrew Sishin is down. One man to beat. Andrew Sishin lost his helmet. He'll remember that one as Hayes gets down to the 27-yard line.
That is an excellent job by Gary Hayes. They really didn't have a big return set up. They were just going to hold the Argonauts up, and he made a great move when he reversed his field and found an alley, and he had 4 white shirts with him. Andrew Sishin made a good play right there, even though he got knocked off down there. He forced him to turn in. Watch him right here. He's going to try to outrun him around the corner. Now he stops and comes back, finds a little crease. Now watch the white shirts in front of him. They got to start hitting some people. We'll see Andrew Sishin's going to show up and save them.
All right, the first down. Moon's pass batted down. Rick Moore, 76, continues to play impressively for the Argonauts. The intended receiver was Cole. Closest Eskimo to the football when it came to the ground was tackle Bill.
3 minutes. Him again. This has happened to him a few times. They've got that hand on the ball. They're trying to throw the screen, but no chance.
Well, that screen was set up on the outside that time, too, if they would have caught it.
2nd and 10. Moon and hurry-up offense. Up the middle. And has a first down for Tommy Scott. Good catch.
Clutch reception right there. Into the middle. Between the linebackers, thrown low.
Well, the Eskimos' momentum will be interrupted by a timeout on the football field. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to play. The Argos out in front by 9. And we'll be back for the conclusion.
You need some Centra. You need this car.
For outstanding economy, here's ultra mileage.
I need it.
For economy that moves, here's a powerful engine.
I need it.
For headroom, legroom, trunk room,
We need this right. You need some Centra. Sun. We are driven.
I still think him.
Well, here's the situation. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to play till full time. The Eskimos with a first down inside the Argonaut 15. And the Eskimos need a touchdown and more to get back into the ballgame. They trail 30-21 to a very spirited Argonaut squad tonight. Mike Levenseller, the story in receiving for the Edmonton Eskimos. 120 yards. Ron, you said at the outset they had to get to the outside receivers. Levenseller has been part of that tonight for Edmonton.
Comes the blitz. Let's see if he sees it. If he doesn't, he's dead. He's dead.
Warren Moon in trouble. Eludes one tackler, but had to step out of bounds. There's a flag down. John Pointer, 30. Pulled him out of bounds. The Argo players are clapping.
The blitz is coming. Pointer comes free again up the middle. He's going to throw it away. He's trying to, and he can't do it. Has to eat it. Take it out of bounds.
Big defensive play for the Argos right there. Clipping against the Eskimos, declined by the Argonauts. Edmonton, 2nd down. And a long 16 yards to go. 2nd and 15. Moon, time to throw this time to the end zone. Waddell Smith, the intended receiver, picked away at the last second. Don Rose continues his fine play in the Argonaut secondary.
Great defense, Don. Great defense by Don Rose. He covers Waddell Smith as well as you can cover him. You see Moon sprint out to his right. He's got time to throw this time. Pointer sees the seam and rushes. Waddell Smith runs a deep out this time, and Rose is going to come in and make a great defensive play right through, knocks the ball down.
You know, a lot of of times defensively, you appoint a linebacker to take the quarterback in case he scrambles. Now, a lot of times tonight, Pointer has been that guy. They may alternate with their linebackers, but one or the other linebackers is responsible for containing that quarterback if he should get to the outside and get outside to contain. They close on it.
Hang on 1 second. A holding call has gone against the Argonauts. So the Eskimos have a little bit more life here. It's second down and 7 to go for Warren Moon. More pressure on him. Moon has nowhere to go. Big leak in the offensive line. Leon Luskavich, 64, led the Argo charge. You can see the happiness on the field right there.
What do you do right here? What do you do now on third down? What do you do, John? Kick the field goal.
You take your 3 now and come back for 7 later?
Absolutely.
See right here, Luskavich, and here they come again. Rusty Olsen all over him coming from the backside. Moon doesn't have a chance.
And you know, Ron, it was what I said before the ball game, too. The ironic part about this thing is a lot of the things that the Argonauts are having success with on their blitzing tonight are carbon copies of what the Edmonton Eskimos have been doing for years. Everybody is picking up their blitz frequency and the type of blitzes that they're coming with, and they're having a lot of effectiveness against the home team.
Dave Cutler from the 34. And he's wide. The Argonauts will try and block a little bit here. Zach Henderson finally forced out and down by Angelo Santucci. The tempers flare just a little bit. Henderson should be shaken up.
You want to run around back there, you pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that, but the only thing that's wrong is he went into that fence a little hard and upset him a little bit. But, you know, you don't count on Cutler missing a field goal. They had to score 10 points anyway, and on third down and about 20, you're better off kicking a field goal, but you got to make it.
That's the only shot that they had.
Santucci grabs him, slows him down, and he goes into the fence. First goes Santucci.
Two minutes, 17 seconds to go. Cutler wide on a field goal. And that will not sit well with the Eskimos at this stage of the football game. Argonauts first down. They lead by 8 points. It's 30-22. Toronto in front of Edmonton. Cedric Minter caught behind the line of scrimmage on first down. David Boone, 64.
Cal Murphy's got to be a little disappointed in the blocking in there. The type of blocking that they're using is what you call turn back blocking, which you mean you got to block your inside gap. So Cal's got to be explaining it to him right now.
Cal Murphy does not look that impressed or pleased. Second down, Toronto. 11 yards to go. Just back of their 35. Eskimo defense needs a big play here. Cedric Minter, nowhere to go. So the Argos will kick it away with 1:52 on the clock. An 8-point spread, Toronto in control.
Call the time here so they can't kill 20 seconds and take a delay of the game. See what Dave Fennell's doing in there. That's where they were running. He finally made a stop in there. Give him a couple yards. A little bit, it may be a little bit too late.
Well, you know, Fennell on the outside, on the inside there is tired. And I think the inside defensive linemen are all tired. I think if you run to the outside, use the clock, make those big guys run a little bit more defensively, you'd be better off than running up on the inside, Ron.
Yeah, well, all you know this for sure, they're going to run the football. So all you want to do is make sure you get some penetration and force him to do something to where he doesn't want to run, and then just don't let him get 10 yards. You're going to run the football. You're not going to throw it now. Not with a 9-point lead.
And I suppose the safety of the choice of plays has to be taken into consideration here. A pitch play is a good play and normally a safe play, but I think probably Coach Obilovich and the coaching staff are saying be as safe as possible with those handoffs. Make sure that you get them, and the safest handoffs are those kind from tackle.
Run your best play, the one that you run the most in practice, you have the most confidence in, that's what you want.
Andrew Sishin from the 22. Gary Hayes had the big return last time, and no room this time. Don Rose Now 1 minute 43 seconds. Fourth quarter. Eskimos trail by 8 points. They down in a 2-point conversion just to tie the Toronto Argonauts. Not that way. Wiscavage again. Rick Moore, Leon Wiscavage, and they've been with Warren Moon all evening long.
They're getting to know him pretty well. Getting to know Warren Moon pretty well. Let's see what happens. Moon back to pass. Only a 4-man rush. You see the linebackers dropping. They're all over him. Leon Wiscavage is in. Here come the rest of them. And I'll tell you what, that 4-man line is doing the job.
5th sack of the night. 7th sack of the night for the Argos. Great catch, almost. Tommy Scott looked like he had it for a split second there. He didn't come up with a football.
Great throw by Warren Moon into 3 defensive backs, and Scott almost made the catch. Let's watch Warren Moon again. Let's see what he does. He has to scramble. Still only a 4-man rush. He still got him running for his life. He throws it. A nice throw. Scott goes up. Right through his hands. Tough catch.
So with 1 minute, 27 seconds to play, fourth quarter, the Argos lead by 8. The Eskimos face 3rd down and 20 yards. Hank Olisic at his own 5. Carinci to midfield. Stopped by Tommy Town.
Took no chances that time, John. The first hit, he's down. The surprising thing, the Toronto Argonauts sacked Warren Moon 7 times for 53 yards. Now, you cannot win. They're only rushed. When they blitz, you got a shot. When you rush 4 men, that's great defense.
A standing ovation. Exhibition in Toronto. Really, not many here in this crowd as optimistic as they were to believe at the start of this game that the Argonauts would be this convincing over the Eskimos.
It's been convincing. They have outplayed the Eskimos. There's no doubt about it.
I'll tell you, they have absolutely manhandled the offensive line of the Edmonton Eskimos. And they've been coming with front 4. 3 of them have been getting there.
Bronx did what he wanted to do, held on to the football, wasted a little more time. 1:14 to play. Huey is not happy, Ron.
No, you can't be happy. You can't have your quarterback down 7 times with a 4-man rush.
I said before the game, Ron, that if they lose this ball game, that they could be on their way down. And I'll tell you one thing, lose the ball game the way that they lost it tonight is really an indication that they're going to have a tough time in that tough Western Division.
Cedric in the grasp of James Parker. But don't forget.
And they're very aware of what needs to be done, Joe. This is a veteran ball club, and every one of those men has been in a championship situation before.
And that may be why the locker room before the ball game was as light and loose as it was. Everybody around the Angels, the Angel family, rather concerned about that 2-game deficit behind Kansas City. But the players in the locker room don't seem too concerned. They know that there's a long way to go, and they realize they have to start tonight and try and get to McClure right away.
Brian Downing will lead things off. Carew to follow, and then Doug DeCenze. In the
Those special teams for the Argonauts have done an excellent job all night. Watch Brietta try to find a crease, and watch Gabrielson run right. That is great hitting, and that is contagious.
Yeah, and there's one thing about getting there and making some tackles, but there's another thing about hurting somebody when you get there, and they're hurting people.
On first down, Warren Moon, Levenseller. The reception. And it should be enough. It is enough for the first down as the Argos lay off a little bit. 23 seconds to go till full time. Toronto on the verge of an upset. They lead the Eskimos by 8.
John, yesterday, if you remember, we were talking, someone said you wouldn't want to play the Eskimos because they'll be mad. No big deal. Toronto shut them right down. Look at this. Finally got it.
Santucci. Some room for Santucci to the 53-yard line.
They'll give them that 3 more times. No big deal now. It's over.
It's time now to light up that cigar on the sideline.
You got that right.
We'll have the Carling O'Keefe Sports Game and hopefully a chat with the victorious coach. 13 seconds. Clock running down. Moon intended that one for Levenseller one more time. He couldn't hang on. JoJo Heath the coverage that time. Now 9 seconds to play.
Got to be just a super win for the fans in Toronto. They've been waiting a long time. And you know the other thing, every team in the league likes to compare themselves to the Eskimos. No matter who you beat, they say, but how'd you do against Edmonton? Well, right. Toronto can say they did it. They turned around from that opening game up there with the Eskimos when they knocked them around, and they turned the tables and knocked the Eskimos around. Great effort.
You know, in that press conference yesterday with Coach Obilovich, with Bob Obilovich, I was looking at him there talking, and he was actually so confident in his air that I thought, boy, he must know something that somebody else doesn't know, because those Edmonton Eskimos are going to come in here and jump all over those poor Argos. But he did know something. He's got a tough bunch of guys, and they're not going to back off 1 inch from anybody.
I'll tell you one thing, it's going to make them awful tough the rest of the year, because they're going to get a split with the Eskimos, and they're going to get so much confidence from this game that they're liable to be really tough the rest of the year.
The Argos, on the verge of their 3rd victory of this season. They have more points than any other team in Canadian football with their tie. Warren Moon long for Waddell Smith. Smith can't come down with it. And no flags come down.
Good defense. Just a jump ball. They send 3 receivers downfield and just throw it. Just throwing it down the field. We got a flag on the field down there. Let's see what happens.
That's back at the line of scrimmage, not in the area of the intended receiver, Blair Shallow.
Roughing against Toronto, probably roughing the quarterback.
That time the Eskimos just send 3 down the field, throw it up, hope they get a tip or anything. Well, Obilovich is telling them just get there and stay there. 1 second, don't worry about it, get back.
Now, Obilovich is not too worried about what they do now.
No, they can't score 10 in 1 second.
Moon with time to throw, but time running out on the scoreboard. That should be it. Well, folks, who would have thunk it? The Argonauts. Very convincing in an 8-point victory over the Edmonton Eskimos at C&E Stadium tonight. And the place is going wild. Look at Bob Obilovich.
Well, Bob Obilovich has got to feel great about that.
Got to be happy. Got to be a very excited man. Crowd goes crazy down here.
That last play was just one of those where you put 3 receivers out there, throw the ball up in the air, and hope for a deflection or hope for a defense, and neither one of them happened.
Well, attitude is the thing that Obilovich told us yesterday was the biggest improvement that he'd seen on his Toronto Argonauts. And attitude, I think, showed in the Toronto performance all evening long. The Argos came out with a very spirited show all night long, and they come on to their 3rd victory of the season. Bob Obilovich is on the sidelines. We're trying to get down to have a quick word with him, and I don't know if in that mob scene we'll be able to find him. Anyway, the Argonauts have now got 7 points. That's the most of any team in Canadian football right now. Of course, notwithstanding what happens tomorrow afternoon, BC and Winnipeg, and that should be a pretty good game. All right, Bob Obilovich on the sidelines. Can you read us up here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
John Wells with Ron Lancaster and Leo Cahill. First of all, our congratulations. You have to be a very happy guy.
Well, just about as happy as all these people out here in this field, John.
OB, I'll tell you, I've seen these fans be happy, but it's been a long time ago. They're really up tonight for it. You guys deserve it. I thought your special teams were absolutely fantastic. Your defense was fantastic. You beat them in every stage of the ball game. I thought it was just great.
Well, they made a heck of a comeback. Levenseller made a great catch to keep them in the ball game, and they're a great football team with a lot of pride, and I'm just proud that our young football team showed some pride out here tonight, too.
Thanks very much again, Bob. Congratulations. You did have an outstanding evening, your football club.
Hey,
Toronto
great game.
Argonauts 30-22 victors over the Edmonton Eskimos at Exhibition Stadium, and the pandemonium continues. We'll be back in a moment.